Hey everyone, Ariel here. We have a great show lined up for all of you today. Obviously, the intro isn't the same, and the reason it is not the same is because I don't feel like hearing any music right now. I don't think it would be appropriate to play the same kind of intro, the usual intro. Last night, I got awful news that has left me feeling empty, that has left me feeling heartbroken, that has left me feeling very sad, confused, all those things and more. I was sitting here, I think around a week ago or so, maybe it was 2 weeks ago max. You'll remember if you watch the show on a weekly basis, and I was telling you all about this book, and I was telling you about this book that was being released and written by my very good friend Tom Gerbasi, who I've known for well over a decade. I told you that if he touches it, if he is involved, if he collaborates in it, if he writes it, it's worth your time. I was telling you that it's a fantastic gift, perhaps for the holiday season, and that I also said he is one of the nicest human beings that I've ever met in any walk of life. Not just media, not just journalism, just a good human being. And now here I am, telling you all that my friend Tom Gerbasi has passed away. And that is surreal for me. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Found out about this last night. Spoke to some friends about it. Spoke to some friends about him. And then the Boxing Writers Association of America tweeted it out just a few minutes ago. And for some reason, seeing that almost hit me harder than last night, because now it feels real. There's the tweet right over there. This is a very hard thing to talk about because this has been a very sad week. You know, the last couple of days we've been talking about Ricky Hatton. I told you multiple times on the program that I didn't know Ricky Hatton. I wasn't a friend of his. I interviewed him once for 30 minutes. Of course, I've known about him, and I watched him, and I admired him, and I read about him, and I loved his message and his story, and it was heartbreaking because you saw how much he meant to a lot of people, like Adam Smith, like Tris Dixon, who have done such a great job among many others of eulogizing and remembering him. But I didn't have the same type of reaction because he wasn't my friend. Now here I am on Wednesday talking about my friend, and I am not the only one hurting, far from the only one. There are a ton of tributes, and we'll go through those in a minute, rolling in, because this just came out like 30 minutes ago. But let me just tell you a little bit about our friend, Tom Gerbasi, because I say our because I know Rick was very close to him and loved him as well, and worked with him from the PR side of things. My friend John Beer, who I talk about a lot, loved him and worked with him. I spoke to him about this yesterday as well. You hear this a lot about a lot of people, but please believe me when I tell you, everyone loved Tom Gerbasi. No one had even a remotely negative thing to say about Tom Gerbasi. Tom Gerbasi was a longtime boxing writer and MMA writer. He's been covering boxing for decades. He's been the editor of UFC.com for as long as I've been covering the sport. When I first started to get into the media room, getting credentials, he was without a doubt the nicest and most welcoming person. And I knew of him because I saw his byline, because I've read his work, and I couldn't believe how nice this guy was to me. And for no reason. We were not colleagues in the sense that we didn't work for the same outlet, but that's just who he was. The very first preview show that I did for AOL Fan House, UFC 104 at the Staples Center in October of 2009, I had one guest, and it was Tom Gerbasi. And we did it from the media room, and I was so excited to do that and to do that with him because I respected him so much. And I knew that I was just going to be in good, safe hands because I was very nervous before it. The thing about Tom was Yes, he was the editor of UFC.com, but he looked out for all of us. Anytime something happened in my life, and I know I could speak for many others when I say this, he would always reach out, offer advice, offer help, offer guidance, offer support, good times and bad times. When there's a big announcement about a career change, he's right there. When crap hit the fan, he's right there. I was just going through our old DMs, like from back in the day, because in the last decade plus we would text, but like I'm going back to like 09, 10. The first DM that I got from him was him, and it took me back to a time, I think the fight was like, if my memory serves me correct, I think it was like UFC 130 something, December of 2010. I couldn't, there was a storm, and he was trying to find me another flight back home. And he's like, I don't work with this guy. That's just who he was. He was always looking out for others. Every birthday, he would text you. Like I said, every announcement, he would be right there. And then he would always ask how you're doing. And then he would always ask how your kids are doing. And then he would always ask about other people that you work with. How's this guy, that guy? And then he would show you a picture of his kids and his grandkids. I was reading a text from him yesterday. We tend to do this, I think, as human beings. You kind of go through old messages, and he was telling me that the life hack that he had stumbled across was that being a grandparent was better than being a parent, because now you have the wisdom of parenthood, and now you could just enjoy your kids' kids. And he was so happy with his kids. I love the fact that the picture that the Boxing Writers Association of America chose of him was him and his granddaughter. He was so happy to be living, to be doing this job. He had just won the 2024 Boxing Writers Association of America Fleischer Award, which is for excellence in boxing journalism. He had not lost his fastball, even, in his 50s. And he had not lost his appreciation for life, because over the last, 5, 6, 7 years, he really started to look after his health, running a couple of marathons, New York City marathons, planning to do it again in November, playing soccer all the time. That was Tom. And he would always be very self-deprecating. He would always make fun of himself, but he was always out there living. And look, always freaking smiling. I can't believe Tom Gerbasi isn't here, man. I cannot believe Tom Gerbasi isn't here. I love this guy, and everyone loved him. And I'm not going to say that I would go to his house every Tuesday, but I swear to God, I was just texting with him last week about this book. Look at this thing. It just came out. It's a beautiful book, and I'm so happy that he was able to do this. Maybe this will be a part of his legacy. I just want to stress to all of you how good that guy was, and the kind of light, the kind of soul, the kind of mensch truly that he was. Wrote amazing profiles, amazing stories, didn't want to be a part of any BS, didn't want to be a part of any drama, just wanted to do good work and cover combat sports the right way. And so I mentioned some of the reaction to him. Lou DiBella posting, a reaction. I am crushed right now. Writer-editor Tom Gerbasi has been a trusted friend and someone I've admired for decades. We just caught up on life, reminisced, and commiserated on boxing for over an hour on Saturday. He was great, and we were talking about life being good, and now he is gone. He was a talented, total professional, a funny, kind, and honest guy, great husband, father, and grandfather. There is not a negative word I can say or have heard said about Tom Gerbasi. He's so right. He is so right. Please pray for the family he was so proud of and leaves behind too soon. This week has hit hard. I will miss another friend. Fly with angels. Tommy, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I can't believe that. Some other tweets. Mark Ramundi, R.I.P. Tom Gerbasi. This is a hard one to write. Tom was a legendary combat sports writer, editor, and friend to everyone in the space. Not to mention a mentor to many. He was genuinely a wonderful human being who shared his love for combat sports through his writing. Today is an unbelievably sad day. It's really... Any other tweets? I know Chuck wrote a great story on him for ESPN.com when he came out with his UFC encyclopedia, like in 2011. It's even bigger than this book. Chuck wrote a really great story that I reread last night. The combat world lost a beautiful soul in Tom Gerbasi, who gave me my real start in MMA writing and who has been there for me every step of the way. Such a loss. That's UFC Encyclopedia. It still holds up. That's from 2011. There's a gentleman from Boxing Scene who wrote I thought a really on-point tweet about him, David Greisman. And he really, I thought he summed him up really well. I always admired how Tom Gerbasi did it all. He was a prolific writer and a talented storyteller. He was so generous with his time, advice, and support. He lived a full life outside of work, and he was such a good family man, husband, father, and doting grandfather. And I'm not the only one. Like, look, you see it. I'm not the only one who feels this way, clearly. It's awful, man. It's awful. Can't believe it. Proud New Yorker, proud combat sports journalist, proud father, husband, grandfather, proud soccer player. One time I was looking for a Brazil away jersey for my son. And I knew he was like in the soccer scene here. And I swear to God, he must have sent me like 20 tweets on places where I could find this blue jersey for my son, Walter. Like he really wanted me to find it. I couldn't find it. And I knew he knew of the stores and the scene. And so he was sending me links. I was going through this yesterday. He was sending me links. I was like, look at this guy. This is exactly who Tom is. And so it's an awful day. It really is. It's been an awful week. It's an awful, awful day. So perhaps if you want to learn more about the great writer that was Tom Gerbasi, and trust me when I say the great human being as well, maybe you consider getting this book, Boxing, The Greatest Fighters, or The 100 Greatest Fighters. Maybe you consider getting the UFC Encyclopedia. And maybe you consider reading some of his work on UFC.com from over the years, because if they fought for the UFC over the past 15, 16, 17 years, Tom wrote about them, and he wrote about them in a beautiful way. And especially when I was working on the Fox broadcast, I would I would tell him this all the time. His profile pieces were invaluable because you would learn about some of these up-and-comers. You know, he had a team of guys who wrote for him, and that was the other thing. He was such a mentor to everyone. He always looked out for everyone. I can assure you that every media member in MMA and boxing that is still doing the job and even not doing the job has a Tom Gerbasi helped me story with so-and-so, gave me advice, looked after me, always had that smile on his face, was so ready and willing to help me out with a contact, to help me out with any type of advice. And so he had a whole army of youngsters and of veterans who worked for him at UFC.com. And he's been around the boxing game for even longer than that, with Boxing Scene and Max Boxing and the Ring Magazine. It's just an awful day. And I don't even know how to go from this to anything else other than to try to convince myself in telling myself that Tom loved fighting. He loved storytelling, and I guarantee you he would be the kind of guy, because who would be like, yo man, suck it up and move on. He would be that guy. So he would text me right now and be like, like when I was going through my tweets, and he's like, UFC 199, he's like, you starting trouble again, kid? Hang in there. That was the kind of guy that he was, but he was never afraid to reach out. He was, it was never, I'm a UFC guy, I'm not going to reach out. It was none of that bullshit. None of that. He was just a good dude, man. Rick, you want to say anything about Tom?
Yeah, I think you said all that very well. Just somebody who I dealt with a lot, as you mentioned, when I was working on the PR side of things. He was somebody I'd pitch stories to regularly, whether it be across boxing, MMA, anything else. But fans of the Boys in the Back will definitely notice, especially if you go back, that every single time we had an interview guest on, I would mention Tom Gerbasi because his profiles, as Ariel said, were like the best resource you could have, the heartbeat for especially the UFC fighters, but all of combat sports. And beyond that, that's the work part of it, that's the job part of it. But beyond that, all the things that Ariel said about him as a man and as a human being, like you will not find a soul alive who knew Tom that would say a bad word about him. I'd go so far as to say, even beyond not saying a bad word about him, you won't find somebody who doesn't have glowing praise for Tom. Like, that is the type of guy that he has. Anybody who he interacted with, he was such a warm soul, such a bright light, and made your life better. And he was giving and always willing to hear people out and give them his time. So the world lost an incredible one. Condolences to his family. And, yeah, unfortunate, super unfortunate, and a reminder of why we have to value this time that we have.
Bruce Buffer, and very well said, Bruce Buffer has been around Tom for a very long time. He also tweeted, "Very sad to hear about my longtime friend and coworker, Tom Gerbasi, passing away. He was a fine man and journalist, beloved by all his friends and coworkers in the world of sports, boxing, MMA, and the UFC. May he rest in peace." There's probably more. I hope that, and I know that the UFC will pay tribute to him. And I don't know. I wish there was I know the boxing writers well. I wish there was an MMA Writers Association and we could pay tribute to him. And I don't know. I know there's a press conference now in London. I hope they pay tribute to him as well. And every fight card this weekend and for the rest of the month, time pays tribute to him because the guy just did it the right way. And he was just a good human being. Better than good. He was a fantastic human being. And it's amazing for us to say, like, no one said a bad word about him because we were just saying that about Ricky, or at least hearing other people say that about Ricky, but it's the truth. There's really no other way to say it. Everyone loved him. Everyone admired him. Everyone has a great Tom Gerbasi story and appreciated him, and he will be sorely missed. May he rest in peace. May his memory be a blessing, and we will do our best to cover fight sports the way Tom Gerbasi did, and we'll never forget him. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. Looking back, how did you handle fame?
You forget. I've been around and in a room with The Rock. That's fame.
Right. Okay.
That's fame.
So you didn't walk around thinking like you were...
No.
Okay.
No. I've never considered myself famous in any way. Be in a room with The Rock. Every eye's on him. Everybody wants a piece of him. Everybody wants to go up to him. I've never experienced that.
So I chose to take the approach with Clemson that one of two things is going to happen. One is, there's a bunch of returning starters, but really they're just returning a bunch of guys who weren't really elite last year, and so you're just going to get more of the same, and it's going to be a big disappointment. Or they really are going to be one of the best teams in the country, and Dabo's going to have the ultimate "I told you so" dunk on the entirety of the college football public moment. Well, the latter is not going to happen.
So for OKC, I feel like they should be the favorites again. Does development plateau for this young roster, or do they keep ascending?
The Thunder are set up to succeed. I think that's the one thing we have all talked about as far as the scary part of last year. It's not just how good they were, it's that they're set up to continue to be good. And I believe in the structure they have to be able to replicate a lot of success.
I'm the one who put DJ Lagway number one on his list of quarterbacks, not for the SEC, not for the state of Florida, not for Alachua County, but for the entire country. And for that, I apologize.
Maybe we should have given more credence to A, he's young, B, he's missed a lot of time with injury, C, he just hasn't played enough football yet. I feel like we are wrong, but I don't want to give up on the potential of that happening. Now, whether that's at Florida next year or somewhere else.
Okay, back on the show, and thank God for the breaks. I knew they would come in handy at some point. Appreciate everyone sticking with us, and we're going to do our best to have a good day and talk about stuff. And I know what we're an escape for everyone as well. And honestly, this is an escape for me because I'd probably just be staring at my phone if I wasn't doing the show today. And so I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be with my friends, with our colleagues, and to just be able to do this is a blessing. And it is a reminder that all of this is so fleeting, and all of this can end in an instance. I'm sure someone is going to ask me on the nose about yesterday, about the Dana clip, and those sentiments kind of come into play. I will tell you about today's lineup. In about 40 minutes' time, we're going to be joined by the WWE Hall of Famer Torrie Wilson. I've said several times on the show that I've wanted to have her on. I'm very much looking forward to that interview. She's a legend. She's someone who came into the wrestling game in the late 90s, then really, exploded in the early 2000s and sort of disappeared a little bit from wrestling and has slowly but surely come back. Someone who talks openly about mental health and depression and ups and downs and anxiety. And so I think that this is going to be a really great chat. And I really appreciate her coming on. At 3 o'clock, Julianna Peña is going to join us. She has some information to share. She's been through a lot as of late, so it'll be great to catch up with the Venezuelan vixen. And then at 3:30, perhaps the best character in pro wrestling today, the one that a lot of people are saying is just hitting it out of the ballpark right now. It's timeless Toni Storm, who is, in some people's eyes, the face of AEW, and in some people's eyes, the best women's wrestler right now, in some people's eyes, the best character in wrestling right now. I don't know if she's going to come to us as her character, kayfabe, no kayfabe. I'm looking forward to the experience, to the journey. Typically, I don't like in-character interviews. I don't know what to expect. They haven't told me. But if you know anything about her, she is a trip. She is very talented, very funny, and I think it's going to be fun. So a fun lineup. And, of course, on Wednesdays, we like to shoot. We like to answer your questions. And so without further ado, let us answer some of those questions.
It's time for On the Nose.
All right, arielhelwani.substack.com is the place to be for all the questions, and I appreciate everyone who sent in said questions. Dom Bernetti up first. With Fluffy out of the RDR fight, does Imavov get the title shot now? Yes, we talked about this yesterday. I think there's no doubt about it. Unless he gets hurt, I can't see any scenario in which he doesn't get it. And I'm okay with that. And I would have been okay with it if they gave it to him after the win over Caio Borralho. The one thing I said once again was I thought the door was left open. It didn't get slammed shut on the October 18th fight. But now that fight has changed, I think it is slammed shut. One interesting thing that has developed over the last couple of days or so, you'll recall when Paulo Costa was on the show, he implied that he wasn't the biggest fan of Caio Borralho. And you'll recall when Carlos Prates was on the show, he implied that some Brazilians were sort of celebrating the demise of the Fighting Nerds and them stumbling, and Caio stumbling. And I'm pretty sure he was referring to Paulo Costa. And so perhaps that fight is developing in front of our eyes. Johnny Levine, what's up, Ariel and crew? Curious what your thoughts are on a potential Merab versus Pantoja super fight. There aren't really any threats to either of them at bantamweight or flyweight. After Merab dominates Sanhagen and Pantoja submits Van, don't you think it should be the next fight up? Also, how do you think that fight plays out? I really don't think that that's a fight either of them are all that interested in. I think both of them really like their spots. I think both of them are happy to remain dominant champions for the foreseeable future. And I don't think that's a thing that the UFC is trying to do. For one, I would hate to see either guy vacate their title right now because that seems to be the thing. And I still think that there are names at 35 for Merab and there are names at 25 for Pantoja. So, Charles Johnson is coming up and you've got guys like Albazi out there that he hasn't fought, Manel Cap who hasn't fought him. Who knows what goes on with Tim Elliott here. There's enough at 25 and there's enough at 35. So I don't think that's a fight that the UFC is interested in, and quite frankly, I don't think that the fighters are really that interested in it. They've been asked enough, and they kind of seem to like each other and like where they're at in their careers. Kevin Lepp, who would win, John Jones at 37 or DC at 30? Is John Jones 37 now? 38. Why do you say 37? Just a random?
I think that was maybe the age that they were when they fought.
Opposite?
Yeah.
Like, was DC older than him?
37, John Jones 30.
Jones on the gear or not on the gear? No, I'm kidding. But is he... I think DC. Am I crazy? DC almost beat him. UFC 214 or 17, whatever it was, the one in Anaheim, the second fight, almost beat him. Like, he was looking good. There was a point in that fight in the rematch where DC was like, he was doing like the Ali shuffle out there. He was feeling himself. And then he got caught.
I can't abide by this.
No, you don't think so?
He was not winning that fight.
What? He wasn't winning that fight? Serious?
You're talking about DC and Jones.
John Jones.
Come on, man.
Do you think there's scorecards? 2 scorecards.
I'm sure there were, but
Scorecards show close. Oh, here. Oh, it's 214. Okay.
tell me what the scorecards were.
Okay. Why do they put their everything on it? Okay. What is this? Wait. Okay, here it is. Okay, Cormier. Okay, so according to one judge.
Yeah.
That looks like an 18, but it's not. Okay, so what? What is going on here? One judge has it. Okay, one judge had it 20 to 18 for Jones.
Yep.
One judge had it 19 to 19.
19 to 19.
And the other judge had it 19 to 19. And he lost in the third round.
He also hadn't fought when he was 30, right?
Daniel Cormier?
Yeah, Cormier wasn't in MMA.
I think the question is just like, if he was the younger guy, would he have been able to do it?
He made it complicated. You know what I mean? We're digging into the records here.
But I mean,
31, different story.
That's a good point. But it was,
DC,
a very close fight. Two judges, Chris Lee, Michael Bell, had it 19-19. Guilherme Bravo, sounds like a fake name, had it 20 to 18.
And then he got finished. But by the way, as longtime fans of the MMA Hour will know, and this program, like, nobody is a bigger fan of DC. Who was beating the drum when he was in Strikeforce that I said DC is going to be the man to beat John Jones? He was just short. In any other era where John Jones doesn't exist, I think Daniel Cormier is looked at as one of the real goats of this sport, like in the Silva, GSP, Demetrius class. But he ran into the GOAT.
What's interesting, looking at it, DC was 38, so it was the exact same age as Jones is now.
Yeah.
Didn't he say 37?
I don't know. These are random numbers.
I mean, it's the same.
Oh, the guy just pulled random numbers out of his ass?
I don't know.
It was 38 versus 30.
I know. It's very weird. It's very weird. I'm going to go.
DC was great. DC was truly great.
If there was a 7-year age gap and DC was the younger one, I think he wins the fight.
It's possible.
Just call it 8.
All right.
Debuted at 31, just for the record.
Yeah, the whole thing is weird. Turkish Royal 1. Hi, team. Why does it feel like there's no buzz behind Eubank Benn 2? Did it just get announced? I find out about it from Eddie on your show. And that first one was one of the best fights of the year. Is there no intrigue this time around? Maybe the best thing to do is to answer the question in like an hour. And by the way, could we keep an eye on the face-off shenanigans? Because what's that?
Wasn't that like the case with the first one as well? It kind of crept up on us.
They had the first presser had the eggs, right? The second one the next day had like the egg, detector thing. They had like a funny thing.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just and then it just kind of happened fight week, and then it exploded on fight night. But
two things from there.
Still 2
one,
months away. Yeah.
When you say us, PT, don't lump me into that.
Of course.
Because I'm not included in that. And two, I think it is fair what this person is saying. The back and forth, the Chris coming out and saying Connor's not fighting him, Connor coming out and saying Chris is not fighting him, it kind of like made this feel ho-hum. The announcement flew a little bit under the radar. I think starting today, it will start to ramp up and people will get excited again because that was the fight of the year or one of the fights of the year.
Now, the one thing that they are going to have to combat is, like, you couldn't dream of a better fight night than that one.
No,
From
you can't top that one.
Reveal to the walkout to the fight. So, like, there's going to be a little Home Alone 2, Home Alone 1 action going on.
100%.
You know?
And Home Alone 2 was a banger.
I was gonna
so
say
hopefully
if they can recreate a Home Alone 2, it's gonna be a success.
Greatest sequel of all time. What's the
Blade
greatest?
2.
Godfather 2. Godfather 2.
Lord of the
Godfather
Rings.
2.
Lord of the Rings.
Godfather 2 is
Towers.
better than Godfather 1.
I love.
Blade 2.
Lord of the Rings, 2 Towers.
So you all have
Definitely not Lord of the Rings.
you all have different answers. I actually
Terminator
have a
2.
different.
Oh,
what's
fuck,
it?
that's the
What is it?
answer.
What is it?
What is
Terminator
it?
2, Judgment Day.
I know
Yeah.
where you're going, Ariel.
What am I going to say? What am I going to say?
Happy Gilmore too.
No, that's a good
Billy
shout.
Madison too?
When they
not a
make
good
Billy
shot.
Madison 2.
Not a good shot.
but Back to the Future 2.
2. Yeah,
Thank
that's a
you,
good one.
Jordan. Back to the Future 2 was a great one.
Now, out of those,
Yeah.
who had the best third?
Ooh.
Back to the
Lord of the
Blade
Rings.
3. Blade
Lord
3.
of the
3
Rings,
wasn't great.
Return of the
3
King.
was- Godfather 3.
Godfather 3 was shit.
Blade 2 and Blade
Look
3.
at him. He froze up. The
By the
mom
way,
got him.
Terminator 2.
Rocky.
Terminator 2 is the actual answer, though. The gap
Rocky.
between Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 is a chasm.
Can I tell you, as a
Best
kid, I think I've talked about this before. As a kid, I hated Back to the Future 3. As an adult, I like it a lot more.
Filmed at the same time as Back to the Future 2.
Oh, yeah, you know why I know that? I think I've told this story. When you're at the theater for Back to the Future 2 as a kid,
they
they
ended
played
it,
the
yeah.
promo at the end,
Yeah.
and then it ended with "to be concluded."
Bang.
And I remember vividly turning to my dad and saying, "What does concluded mean? What does that mean?" Well, I didn't understand what that word meant. So I
Oh,
was
you
like,
literally didn't know what the word meant.
yeah. So I was like, "Is there a new movie out to play right now? Like, what is this? What are we watching right here?" It was crazy. I was probably 9 years old or something like that.
Did they drop the third one like a year later?
Maybe less.
Yeah, sick.
I
miss
don't.
when
Has
sequels
any
did
movie
that.
ever done that? Drop the trailer for the next one in the same viewing as the previous one. If you get what I'm saying.
Man, they didn't
One
have the
could-
balls back then.
One could argue that the Marvel like credit scenes are kind of that, right? Like that's kind
balls
of
From
back
a preview, though. 6 months.
6
That
months
took some
later.
balls
6
playing
months later.
that trailer.
November
really
1989,
girl.
May 1990.
Say it again. Say it again.
November 1989 to May 1990.
Wow.
Bang.
That's short.
That's sick. That's sick.
That is short.
That's how you do it.
I think that might be my favorite trilogy in all of movies.
That's Lord of the Rings.
It's a, you know what?
I can't disagree
never
with
seen
you.
it.
I literally can't disagree with
Die
you.
Hard. Very good trilogy.
And not for nothing, like as great as Alien is, Aliens is a banger. Like I wouldn't say it's better,
Yeah.
but it's a really good fucking sequel.
nah, but
true.
T2, you had it. Don't,
T2
don't,
definitely
don't,
is the
don't
better
prove
Terminator
your
2
case.
is
You
good.
did it.
No
All
love
to
for
say.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, not at all. Trash.
What?
Never
Trash
seen it.
movie.
Never
Come
seen
on.
it.
Those are good. The whole
Movie
series
Treasure
is pretty
is
good.
trash.
Movie confession here. Haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
neither have
or,
I.
Same,
or Rocky.
same.
Yeah.
Seen all the Creeds. Haven't seen the Rocky.
Yeah, my kids were watching Creed. They liked it. They went straight to Creed. They skipped
Creed is
Rocky
very
and went
good.
straight to Creed.
Yeah.
They actually told me, funny enough, they were like, "Who's that fighter? Who's that fighter who supports Everton? Who's that fighter that supports Everton?" I was like, "Molly McCann? You know about Molly McCann?" They're like, No. The guy who's in Creed." I was like, "Oh, Tony Bellew?"
Oh, Tony!
Hey.
Wow!
By the way, I don't think I saw that one. Is Tony Bellew playing himself?
Yes.
Wow.
Come on, Creed.
Is
That's
he
what
good?
He's saying, yeah.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's
really
great.
good. He's actually
And
really
he's
good.
and he plays up being an Everton guy.
No, I
That's
don't
what they
think the
told me.
Everton part.
But he has
is-
full Liverpool accent. Like, come on, Creed.
Have you
let's
not
be having
seen
you.
Creed?
Kinda
I
guy.
think I saw Creed 1, but I don't remember him being in it.
Kellerman's
He was in it.
Creed.
Is he in Creed 1 or 2?
Possibly both.
One.
I don't recall
One.
off the top of my head.
I
He
don't
was in.
remember Bellew.
Is there 3 or 4 Creeds?
I think 3.
There's 3.
3.
Yeah.
The game on the, by the way, on the Oculus, very fun. The Creed game. Has anyone played it?
Yes, I have played it.
I don't
Very,
have an
very good
You
graphics.
got the Oculus now?
Bro, I got both Oculuses.
Oh,
Shit.
Oculi.
By the way, the Oculus was a godsend during the early days of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We got it early days of the pandemic. Like my kid, it took up like a week of their lives, and it was
Wow.
a godsend. 'cause
It's
there
been
was
nice. I
nothing
was
going
playing a
on.
Game Boy Color during the pandemic.
I was on the Virtual Boy.
Uh,
Times are tough.
Charmander, isn't that an anime?
That's Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Why in the world is the UFC now making Garbrandt versus O'Malley? I don't get it. I have to be honest with you.
Garbrandt versus O'Malley?
I kind of love that fight.
Oh, stop.
Cody Garbrandt's really had a
Yeah.
renaissance this week. With
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford giving
Yeah.
him love, calling him the best boxer in the UFC. Now we're calling for
Why?
O'Malley.
Why is that a bad fight?
it was bad?
O'Malley is.
It's a big swing for him, and it's a comeback fight for O'Malley. Two big names. Clearly, one is still beloved. Shout out to Terrence.
Cody's not in that position to fight Sean O'Malley.
You think Sean O'Malley smokes him? By the way, what's wrong with
Yes,
what's wrong?
first of all.
Yeah, I do.
What's
But
wrong
also-
with a comeback fight?
That's not a real fight for Sean O'Malley though.
I tell you, that fight gets a lot more buzz than O'Malley versus
Jan?
same amount of buzz.
Yep.
Same amount. Of buzz.
Crazy,
No,
crazy
it
take.
doesn't.
Crazy take.
What?
No.
Cody Garbrandt is he a mainstream guy? I mean, like he's a
Jan
pretty.
is a former champion and still
Those Cody Garbrandt.
an elite fighter.
Yeah.
Cody is not that anymore.
Oh yeah.
People love
Cody's-
Cody.
Yeah, I know, but he's coming off a loss to Heoni Barcelos.
Nah,
I think we do the Jan rematch. You got the history there, how close the first one.
By the way,
was.
I'm signing
Live
up for
round.
that all day. There was another fight that someone said, Song versus O'Malley.
That's a fight. Yeah, let's do that.
I'm down for that O'Malley Jan fight.
Signing up for it all day. The point is, I kind of think it's brilliant matchmaking.
I don't think we need to go that far down for Sean. That's where I'm at.
All right. Your mom goes to college. Ariel, one, could we give a bit more attention to On the Nose? It feels like it hasn't been getting as much love lately, and we're seeing fewer questions making it through. You're right. And that's on me. And I'd like to, I always try to like devote at least an hour to it. Sometimes things happen. And I feel like you're right. You're 100% right. Can I also just say, I feel like sometimes the questions haven't been great. I feel like at the beginning, the questions were really good and challenging, and sometimes they're a little bit ho-hum, and there's people asking the same ones over and over and over. But you're right, and I will take that to heart. He also asks another question. I thought the Terrence Crawford interview was excellent. He was funny and playful while being coy about certain fights. Lining a guest of that caliber right after such a huge event is massive. But I'm curious, was there a particular guest that first made you stop and think, wow, I've really made it now? Man, I don't know. There's been so many. I'd love to know how many guests have been on the show, period. I mean, The Rock was kind of a big deal. And where's The Rock? Yeah, I have not heard from him. Rocky, let's go. When's the release? October 3rd or something? Come on, dog. Finish the story. Full circle. That I made it. I mean, The Rock was a big one. You'd have to go back a very... You know what was a big one for us way back in the day? Rick, do you remember when we had Mike Tyson on and then we had Dana call in to surprise him?
I do remember that, yeah.
That felt big. I mean, we're talking like 2011, something like that. Fedor in studio was big. Anderson Silva in studio, like in the AOL days, was big. So yeah, but there's nothing better than the the feeling of having a guy who just won a fight 2 days prior on that Monday show. There'll never be a greater buzz than that. And we've had so many of those. Or someone who was just involved, like Iaquinta after the Khabib fight, gigantic. Jorge after the Askren fight. Askren after that fight on the Monday. Like these are memories that I'll forever cherish. Leon after the knockout. Remember that one? Him crying? That was something. Steve Buscemi. Ariel, genuine question for you. Why did you decide not to touch on the assassination of Charlie Kirk? I understand he's not in the combat sports world, but there are other people outside the combat sports world you decide to dedicate an hour plus to. Maybe it's a political thing you're trying to avoid, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that stripped down. It is a father that was murdered in front of his children and the world for an opinion, one that wasn't hateful in any way. Nonetheless, would love to hear your and Rick's thoughts on it as a whole. So, I mean, we didn't necessarily ignore it because we were talking about it in real time. I didn't really touch on it on social media. And that was the Wednesday show. And then, my next time on the air was Monday. I will also say, guys, let me know if I'm forgetting. I'm probably forgetting. I don't know of many like non-combat sports people who have passed away that we've devoted an hour to. Am I forgetting someone in the past?
Yeah, I don't recall.
I mean, is there anyone we've committed an hour to?
Period. But the point is, honestly, that wasn't the reason why I didn't tweet about it or post about it. Was I was kind of sick over it, and I didn't consume a lot of his content. You would see him from time to time, and I don't really care about the who's right, who's wrong. To me, it was sickening to see a human being assassinated like that in broad daylight. No one deserves that. No one who's, trying to make the world a better place. And I do believe that was his intention. He wasn't physically hurting anyone. Were his opinions polarizing? Sure, but he wasn't hurting anyone, doing any criminal acts, killing anyone. No wife deserves to see her husband get killed like that and suffer this fate. No child deserves to see their parent get killed like that and suffer this fate. And I felt sick over it. And there was a part of me that felt sick over the reaction to it, and seeing people celebrate, and it turning into like another debate and another argument. And I didn't want to contribute to that in any way, shape, or form. And I didn't want to make it seem like I was trying to like jump on any type of like bandwagon or anything like that. I called a very good friend of mine who I know is a fan of his, and I talked to her about it, and that was enough for me. So there was no reason for it. I'm sorry if you felt like I was avoiding it. I wasn't. I'm not afraid to talk. I'm not afraid of talking about politics because I think it's healthier if we talk about these things. And I love to talk to people who don't feel what I feel, believe, and I actually, as I've come to learn more about him, I respect the fact that he would put himself out there and debate people. Now, you say that, and then people will come and be like, was he really debating, or was he just trying to browbeat, or was he just trying to spread his gospel? Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. It's a devastating thing. It's a disgusting thing. It's an awful thing. It's heartbreaking. And ultimately, I just feel like no one deserves that. And then it gets into like, how's Trump dealing with it? It's like, yo, man, this is a dad. And by all accounts, he was a really good dad who cared for his kids and cared for his wife and just tried to be a good human being. So yeah, I don't know. I felt sick over it. I did. And I wasn't trying to hide from it or not get political or anything like that. We were discussing after the show, if it's one of the most visible assassinations in recent memory. Obviously, JFK is I don't even know what the word is. Infamous, historic. We went to the museum when we were there in Dallas for the Nate Diaz Jake Paul fight. But this is like in like HD, and it's very, very hard to watch. And now a young man has ruined his life, allegedly. Like if that's the guy, and I don't think he's denying it, he's done. He might get the death penalty. And for what? It was not worth it, obviously. So, yeah, I felt sick. I felt sad. You know what I always think about in these moments? Not to get too deep on all of you, but I always think about the world that my kids are entering. And this is why I'm holding so tightly to the notion that my son doesn't need a phone, because I'm so afraid. And I know he has an iPad and his friends have things and I hear them speak and all this stuff, but like it's scary that they're entering this world and this stuff is right in their face. I see the way it brainwashes. I see what it could do to our feelings, to our emotions, how some can get radicalized, how some could feel extremely down. Little things like feeling left out, feeling on the outside looking in, and then learning about things not in the proper way. Like it's just all of this is scary. And I believe social media is a big part of this and a big problem when it comes to all of this. Not to say that people weren't doing horrible things before social media, but these shootings and stuff like that. It's a lot of people who are angry, and then you start to ask yourself why. So anyway, it's sad, and yeah, I just didn't have anything to offer. Taco enthusiast. Alrighty, Ariel, here's the pertinent question that you're likely going to react to anyways. I was waiting for one of you. On the subject of his relationship with you, Dana said to Logan, I'm upset about it too. Maybe we should figure this thing out. We should probably all get back together. So many questions, so little on the nose. 1, did you feel that the sentiment was genuine at all? What did you feel when Dana asked about you, how's he doing, that Logan responded with, he's upset that the relationship is what it is with the UFC? 3, you've stated in the past that you'll never say never, but that it would take a lot to mend the relationship. Does this open the door? Let me know if you need a moderator or a mediator, excuse me. Tacos bridge all divides. Okay. Yes, a lot of people have sent me this clip. This is from the Impulsive podcast. Shout out to my friends Logan P. and Mike M. And they had Dana White on the show. And I didn't see it until No Context to Ariel, whomever that guy is. Shout out to him. Appreciate you. Posted it after our show yesterday. In case you haven't seen it, I want to play the clip for you guys. And I think by playing it, it will be a lot easier to respond and react. So here it is.
What if you're the superstar?
Yeah, I'm definitely not the superstar.
You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like...
No, but listen, there's a formula to this stuff.
Yeah. And you know that, so that makes you a superstar.
So when I listen to shit like we have a superstar problem or we have this problem, we have that problem, my response to that is, believe me when I fucking tell you, we have no problem.
But they say more money, more problems.
But it's not even about that. It's not even about the 7.7 billion. It's about now what are we going to do with these unbelievably brilliant and aggressive businessmen that are now getting into Paramount and CBS. We all get together next week. We have a big conference. There's 60 of their people and my people getting together, and we're going to start building what the next 7 years is going to look like. You know what I mean? When you do what we do here, the money is what happens when you do what you do well.
What is going on?
Wait till everybody's and I love as we go into a new deal and you hear this stuff like and I would love to hear who the fuck is the guy that's saying, oh, they have a superstar problem. Tell me what fucking genius in the business, right? And even these boxing guys that I was arguing with 10 years ago, where the fuck are they all now?
I think I heard Ariel Helwani say it once.
Dude, not this again.
So, but where are all these boxing guys 10 years ago?
I'm not trying to start shit. He said who?
We just got to the last thing with him.
How's he doing?
He's doing well.
Oh, good.
He's doing well.
Yeah.
He's upset. He's upset that the relationship is what it is with the OC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm upset about it too.
Well, maybe there's a maybe we
can figure this thing out. And yeah, we should probably all get back together.
Okay, so we provided a little bit before that so that you understand the context. They're talking about a lack of superstars. Shout out to Logan for bringing me up. And yes, I've talked about this, but every time I do talk about it, I also do say that the UFC is on fire and that it's not washed because the biggest stars, the UFC and Dana White, and they're not going anywhere, and witness the fact that they've gotten this $7 billion deal and all this stuff. He probably doesn't know all of that. So yes, I have said that there's a lack of superstars when you compare it to Ronda, Conor, John, even Chuck, Tito, the million buy guys and gals. Those don't exist at the moment. I've also said fight sports are cyclical, and just like the heavyweight division sucked 10 years ago and it's great now and it has been great for the last couple of years, everything, light heavyweight was great and now it's not great, and heavyweight was great and now it's not great, and lightweight was gone and now it's the hot division. Welterweight wasn't great and now it's great. Everything's cyclical in combat sports. Anyway, we don't have to get into that. So Taco's asking me these questions, and he's asking them as if he believes Dana's being sincere. I don't believe that he was being 100% sincere. I believe he was being sarcastic. And so when I see this, I kind of laugh and say, oh yeah, he's just making a joke. When he says, how's he doing now, in that tone, to me, it comes across as him saying like, where is that guy? That dude fell off. He's not relevant anymore. I couldn't care less about him. That's the way I interpreted it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I looked at it. Now, I don't feel like anything that he said there was very sincere. I think it was 99.999% sarcastic, if I'm being 100% honest. The one thing that was telling to me, or at least jumped out at me, was that usually when I'm brought up, he calls me all the names under the sun, right? Scumbag, piece of crap, this, all these things, right? Like, he'll take his opportunity to take a shot at me. This time, he just said what you just heard him say. Is that because I'm so irrelevant to him? Maybe. Or is that because he misses me? Maybe. I don't think it's the latter, if I'm being 100% honest. But I will repeat what I have said regarding this topic on this show ad nauseum and what I've said on every other show that asked me about him ad nauseum. In my early days, no one was better to me than Dana White. And then it all fell apart in 2016. You know this, right? It's unbelievable that we're approaching 10 years since all of this went down. And I haven't talked to him since. And when I got to ESPN, I was asked to reach out and extend an olive branch, and I did. And I sent a text, and nothing came of that. I never got a reply. And so we've never talked, and I've told you about when I left ESPN, I got a text, and I thought it was him sort of, celebrating that I was leaving, and it got very contentious and uncomfortable towards the end there. Despite all of that, and despite the Showtime thing and all this other stuff that has happened over the last 10 years, and other stuff that you guys don't even know about, that I don't even know if I'll ever talk about, if I'm being 100% honest. If someone told me today, hey, you can bury the hatchet, I would do it. And I would only do it not because I want anything, not because I want scoops or exclusives. I'm not even in that game anymore. I don't even do that. Not because I want interviews or access or anything like that. It's because, I'm not just saying it today, life is too short. And let's be honest. Dana White is more important in my world than I am in his world. And what I mean by that is Dana White is the most important person in the world of MMA and maybe soon in boxing. So we have to cover him. I always joke, I feel like I have a PhD in Dana because I've watched so much of his interviews. You have to do it. He's the most important person. Again, it goes back to like the platforming thing and all that. Like, I have to be able to compartmentalize my feelings and cover him as an entity, cover him as the most powerful and important person in MMA, and that's who he is, and perhaps soon to be in boxing as well. But he goes on his merry way, with or without me. Obviously, I'm very well aware of that. I don't think any different. But if there was an opportunity to shake hands and be like, look, there was once a time where like we were exchanging pictures about our kids and grew pretty close. Yeah, sure, I would like that just for my heart, just for my soul. Because I believe that holding grudges and having beef, like, I believe that's a cancer. I believe that's a cancer to your body. There's people that I don't like. There's people who I think have wronged me, and there's probably people who think that I have not been kind to them or treated them well. And if all those people walked in here, I don't think that there would be a single exception that I would say I don't want to talk to that person, and at least try to get to a point where we could be cordial, especially if we live in the same world, reside in the same world, and are a part of the same small community, if you get what I'm saying. And so, no, I wasn't doing backflips or, cartwheels there. I think he was being sarcastic. I think it was his way of saying, how's that dude doing? He's irrelevant. We're doing just fine, in case you're wondering. We're doing better than ever, in case you're wondering, in all facets of the game, whether it's the work, whether it's the compensation, anything you want to talk about, we're doing way better than we were back at ESPN. I can assure you of that. And we're doing other things as well. And I don't need to go through the resume. So in case you're wondering whether or not we have fallen off, I feel confident in saying we haven't. But that's where I think he was coming from, because I've seen that response regarding other people before, and I've heard that before. And so, yeah, that's my basic response to all of this. Like, I don't know if Taco was joking here, but I think he got it all wrong, if I'm being 100% honest. I think he got it all wrong. Now, he asked in question 3, you've stated in the past that you'll never say never, but that it would take a lot to mend the relationship. No, I've not said that. I've said it would take a lot for me to go back to UFC events. The relationship is a conversation, in my opinion. And I am not holding out hope. I believe right now that it will never get fixed. I'm sorry to say. And I will say this. I appreciate the tweets and the texts about it and the sentiment, because I've seen a lot of the tweets where people are like, this would be amazing, this would be great. we miss the old interviews and the interactions and all this stuff. Please, 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 the MMA world needs it. It doesn't need it. I don't think that highly of myself. But I appreciate the sentiment, and I appreciate the wanting of it. Very much so. It means a lot. It makes me feel good that people care. But there is not any part of me that is holding out hope or that believes, and perhaps I'll be proven otherwise, that this is in the works, or that was the sentiment that he was trying to convey, or that this is around the corner, or that this could happen even a couple of years down the line. I just don't see it. I don't. I don't see it happening, because there have been opportunities for it to happen rather easily and quickly over the last few years. And when those didn't happen, it was in my best interest for it to happen during the ESPN deal, because I was, when I was there, because I lost out on opportunities there too. And I was sort of like boxed out, and that sucked. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to leave, because I felt like I couldn't progress, and I was soulless. And so if it didn't happen then, when we were sort of in the same playpen, if you will, I don't see a world where it happens now. I'm sorry. And so I'm sorry for those that interpreted it in a different way and felt like it was sincere. Does anyone disagree with me? Does anyone think it was sincere?
No, it's definitely sarcastic.
Yeah.
It is an improvement, though.
That would probably be the only thing, right? The improvement is that he didn't take a shot and insult me. It was just sort of a let's move on from the conversation. Maybe I don't want to give him any fodder.
Yeah, getting older.
It's positive.
You think that's positive?
I think it's better
Definitely
than
is
what it was.
positive.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
What's the
I really
go-to?
do.
Scumbag?
Scumbag, lowlife, piece of... Yeah, all those things.
None of that was said. You know what I mean?
No, I know. I guess if we're looking for a silver
it was
lining...
like, how's Ariel getting on? You know?
I don't think it's the how's Ariel... You see...
Make a quote card,
great.
Yes.
Good.
and it's a whole different thing. Put a quote card up. How is he doing?
Yeah.
He's
doing
upset
great,
about the
GC.
UFC relationship.
Yeah.
I'm upset about it too.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get the band back together.
Oh, when you do it like that, it's fantastic.
He's a progressive. He's a very progressive guy.
I'm upset about it too. Yeah. I've been thinking maybe we should get the band back together.
It's all the way you deliver it, right?
It is.
And the delivery that I heard there was not the same.
The sly smile.
Yeah.
They could have chopped
Thinking
it up
back on
away,
good
Ariel.
times.
You think so? You think he was reminiscing?
uncomfortable.
I appreciate the positivity here, guys. I wasn't expecting this. I was
Style up old DW. Come on, let's get him on the horn.
I don't think it was drenched in sarcasm. Not that my opinion matters.
Hey, no.
Are Pats playing the Bills this season?
They are, of course, twice.
Well, that's the message. That's when the message happens.
You think I send him a text? Shall we?
That Drake May's looking good, mate. You know?
Yeah.
I think you ran out a message on the jumbotron at Foxborough
Nah.
when he's there.
Put your name on the octagon and say,
Nah.
we back?
Show up to a press conference and ask a question. Show up to
that'd be
the HQ.
Not for nothing.
Show-
An old interview with Ariel and Dana would be fucking fire.
Box
right now.
office,
I
pay
mean,
per view.
Show up to a presser and just
with the
say,
boombox.
Dana, how you doing? How you been?
It's nice to see you again.
I've been good.
How about that Drake May?
No, you know the what's the movie with the boombox?
Oh,
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
No.
The one with
Say
Cusack.
anything?
Radio
Think of the
Raheem.
one with John
Godfather
Cusack.
John
2.
Cusack, where he
High
stands
Fidelity?
outside the room.
Where it's Your Eyes is playing.
Yeah.
It's not High Fidelity. Oh, God.
Titanic.
Yes, you know the one.
It's Say Anything. I said it. I
Say
said it
anything.
already.
Absolutely.
I said that already.
Then you guys
I
said
said,
Titanic
I said Say
moment.
Anything
I'm giving you your
already.
flowers. I'm getting your flowers.
Twice. Had to say it.
At the
Jordan,
front of the
say
PI.
anything.
John
Say
Cusack
anything.
and Say Anything.
Say anything. Say
John
anything.
Hughes movie, right?
I mean, Logan, really throwing me under the bus there, bud. I mean, come on.
Nah.
Did he throw you under the bus?
Well, he's like,
he was
who's
doing
the idiot? Yeah, who's the idiot that says it?
Yeah, no.
Well, I actually think I heard Ariel Helwani say that.
No, and the face
we
that he
wouldn't
made
have-
too.
Okay,
I wanna
but in
see the
Logan's-
dumbass, and he's like, I think it's Ariel Helwani.
In Logan's defense, Dana was like, who's the fucking idiot that would say this? And then Logan's like, no, it's not idiots who are saying this. I heard Ariel say this.
Okay, you know what?
That is the logic there.
So maybe the interpretation on my end.
No, Dana was fully sarcastic.
Oh.
He hates you. It's never going to change.
Bro,
It's
let's be positive here.
The Logan side, though, was trying to say, no, it's not stupid people saying this. There is a smart person named Ariel Helwani who is in the business who has said this.
DW.
What's the line
Come on down.
picture, like Punk and Triple H. Hell has frozen over. Me and DW in the office. The point. What's the line?
Plus 50K.
Plus 50K
I believe
line?
it will happen. I genuinely believe it will happen.
In the office, 2 cool pairs
War
of
room?
Nikes. We do a whole thing. F it Friday.
My Friday's over.
My favorite.
What do we do?
I could come back.
Is the entrance into the heart power slap? Do we cover power slap? Is that the
I'll do
entrance?
it. I'll take that hit.
We'll go.
And the older he gets, the more
I'll let him
mature he
slap me.
gets.
Listen, jokes aside, life is too short. And life is too short on both ends of the spectrum. I think life is too short for these grudges, but I also think life is too short to, allow this to consume my soul because, I maintain. Look, we didn't see eye to eye on the way things were going. It's always brought up UFC 199. The issue started long before that. That was the final nail in the coffin. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. And so it was developing for quite some time, 6-7 months or so. But I never did anything wrong. The revisionist history is inaccurate. Was just doing my job, got information, was breaking news, and was young and was feeling some sort of way, and wanted to fight back and fight back the only way I know how to fight back, which is do better work, do more work. Like I was taking off the Showtime thing, and I said, all right, we're going to get exclusives with Conor and Floyd, and we're going to cover this fight better than anyone. And I feel like we did that. Taking off Fox, being the insider. All right, I'm going to be the best insider that I could be. I'm going to get every single story out there. And I think that I did that, but I don't do that anymore. And times have changed, life has changed, a lot has changed for the both of us. The state of the UFC is different. The state of the company is different. The state of my career is different. There's a lot that has changed. So again, not holding out hope. Appreciate the guys bringing me up. I think he was being sarcastic, if I'm being 1,000% honest with you. Do appreciate the lack of insults. And most importantly, I appreciate everyone who sent it to me and who commented, who said, I would love for this to happen. I want this to happen. I'm rooting for this to happen. Would love to see this materialize. Let us see, my friends. Let us see. But yes, I do believe life is too short for all of this. All right. We'll put a pin. We only got through 8 questions. We went a little
That's
long.
tough.
Yeah, that is tough. We went a little bit long on some of the stuff, but obviously a tough morning. I'll get to more on the back end of the show, so stay tuned for that. Thank you to everyone. I do agree with that one guy who wrote in and said we haven't done our job in this particular segment as well, or maybe as thorough as back in the day, and so I'm taking that to heart, and we'll get to those. For now, though, let's go to our first guest of the day. And if you've been watching the show for quite some time, you know that I have said time and again on my bucket list, there aren't that many names left, and I don't necessarily love the word bucket list, but it's the best way to describe it, on the wish list, if you will, of people who are left in the world of MMA, boxing, pro wrestling. There aren't that many names left, and we're very grateful and appreciative for this. I would always say, I would love to have this guest on. And part of the reason why I would love to have this guest on is because I believe that she has a great backstory. She's very open and honest, and there's a lot of great stories to be told and lessons to be learned from the things that she has experienced. Back in the early 2000s, let's be honest, if you were a pro wrestling fan, you were either a Sable guy, you were either a Trish Stratus guy, you were a Lita guy, you were a Stacy Keibler guy, or you were a Torrie Wilson guy. Now, you could have been a fan of all of them, which you probably were if you were a wrestling fan back there, but you had, your top. You were in one camp or the other. I was an unabashed Torrie Wilson guy. She was my favorite, and that's why I always wanted to talk to her. And you remember, I was with Maven here in studio a couple of weeks ago, and I told him about the time that I saw him at the WrestleMania 18 fan access and took that picture with him. I was also waiting in line to meet some of the other guys, and I waited in the Torrie Wilson line for a while, and then it got cut off, and the time expired, and thus my big break was not to be. It did not materialize. And so without further ado, some 23 years later, we say hello to the one and only, the WWE Hall of Famer, the inimitable Torrie Wilson. There she is. Hello, Torrie. How are you?
Hi, Pink. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so great to have you on the show. This is very, very exciting.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to be with you. And it's an honor to have been a Torrie Wilson
Yes, you are a Torrie
know,
Wilson, and I was a Torrie Wilson guy.
person.
Yes, exactly.
Torrie.
I knew what you were trying to say. Great setup, by the way. Are you in your actual gym here, or is this a fake background?
Yes, we're having our air conditioning units replaced today, so this is the only quiet place in the house.
Okay, well, this is kind of fitting for your
Is in the
personality. That's a great garage. Shout out to you. It's a great looking space, but we know
Yes.
how into all this stuff you are, the fitness world. How are you doing, Torrie? How is everything? How is life? How would you describe life at this stage?
Man, it just keeps getting better and better for me. I feel like just this year, well, the past few years, I've kind of stepped into my confidence more. I just feel more at ease with life. I'm not trying to compete with the rat race. And I'm just trying to enjoy who I am and the people around me.
How did that happen? You say that, but how does that actually happen?
Well, it happens with a lot of hard inner work and past turmoil that I obviously got through. I am a big proponent on the crap that we go through really helps us get stronger and become happier in the end if we listen and pay attention and learn and find the nuggets from it that we're supposed to get, the wisdom. And I have made some good choices. I made a good choice with the love of my life that I've married 6 years ago. And, I've kind of set myself up to be in a good spot.
Congratulations on that. That's amazing to hear.
Thank you.
And the reason why I appreciate you bringing that up is because I feel like you're one of those people, you're a public person, but you're not afraid to talk about the high moments and especially the low moments and be open about some of your struggles and whatnot. That in itself takes some courage. And I don't think that you were always willing to do that. How come you feel the need to do that? Or maybe I should say the comfort in doing that, because I do see you doing that a lot, and it makes, I think, others feel better. Not that you're going through some tough stuff, but that it's okay to go through tough things and come out better.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it can be scary to put yourself out there and just speak your truth, but I know there are a lot of people in this world and that have, that feel like they're alone in what they're going through. And it's so easy to pop onto social media and think that everybody's got their crap put together and they have a perfect life. And I think it's frustrating to see that. Like, even for me, when I see perfectness all the time, you can't help but start to question where you are in life. So, really that's the answer. And I've always been an honest, open person. I am maybe to a fault, a little bit like an open book, but I also, on the other side of that, I like being around open, honest people.
One thing that I've noticed as of late, correct me if I'm wrong, is that when you left WWE in around 2008 or so, you kind of just like faded into the night and we didn't hear much or see much about you. And I feel like over the last couple of years, maybe with the Hall of Fame and then the Royal Rumble appearance and even little things like you being in attendance in Atlanta in July, we didn't get that for like a decade or so. Is there a reason behind that?
When I left wrestling, I had back surgery and I just kind of was tired of being on the road. I knew I was getting better in the ring, and I knew that I was going to come back and not be at full capacity. And I didn't want to hurt myself again. So that's kind of why I just decided to retire. And then for a long time, I kind of had mixed feelings about my time in wrestling because there was so much about it that I felt like was just, I don't know about embarrassing, but like I just felt yucky, thinking about it. And so I just kind of closed that door and just had no desire really to do much with it. I did signings here and there, but I just kind of wanted to like stay out of that world. It just felt like yucky. And then when they called me back in, 2018, I think it was, for that first appearance, it was kind of like I guess, a test. And they welcomed me with open arms, and I just had such a great time meeting everybody and seeing how much it had changed from when I was there. And that's kind of why, I started doing more and more. But, for a while there, I just didn't even want to take anyone's calls, to be honest.
And so were there opportunities that were potentially presented to you that you just ignored because you still felt that way?
I honestly don't know. I do know this guy, Mark Carano, who was the head of talent relations for some time. There were a few phone calls that he had made that I didn't return. Closer up, leading up to like 2016, 17. I don't know what they were for. Maybe they were just for a signing or something. Probably never know, but I wasn't ready yet to answer that call. But it wasn't really deliberate.
When you say that at the time, part of the reason why you closed that door is because you felt yucky about your career. I'm wondering if now in 2025, when you still look back on, the prime of your career, do you still feel the same way?
I don't. No, I think it took some time for me to step away and to be able to look at it from a different perspective and appreciate it for what it is. I just felt so attached to it for so long. And now I do cringe when I look at a lot of stuff. I'm not for real, but I also giggle. I see the entertainment value in it. It was a totally different era. And, I was just, for a while, I just needed to step away and brush myself off and remember that Torrie is not the real Torrie. The real Torrie is me here, sitting here. And, I definitely see the value in it now. And, I can chuckle over it. I can appreciate it. And I can also cringe over some of it.
Do you have regrets when you look back?
I think I don't really have regrets in life. Even the things that I would really not remember, prefer not to remember, outside of wrestling, inside of wrestling, it's all a lesson. There are times that I look back and I think, gosh, it's so cringe. It's so just, the whole sex appeal stuff was so much. And at that age, I was really trying to come to terms with being this sex symbol. I didn't feel like I was a sex symbol. I always felt like I was the biggest dork in the room. And my ex-husband used to always tell me that you're the biggest dork in the room. And so I never really I felt like I was always just being a poser. But then on the flip side of that, it also brought out this part of me that became more confident in her sexuality. So there's just a lot of different dynamics at play.
It's interesting because I've heard you say in other interviews that you used to have tremendous anxiety before doing some stuff, right? In wrestling and especially putting yourself out there and whatnot. How did you it wasn't just, I can understand a performer, a wrestler having anxiety before a big match. But you're out there, doing bikini contests and stuff like that. How does someone who having incredible anxiety even step through the curtain? How do you even allow yourself to perform in those moments when you're dealing with what seemed like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, like crippling anxiety to do this in front of thousands of people and millions at home? How did you even process all of that?
I kind of had to. I mean, I was there. There was a high to it when I came back through the curtain afterwards. But no matter what I was doing, whether I was in a bikini, being in a bikini was actually just as stressful as having a match for me. Just different types of stress, because we've all had those nightmares where we wake up and we're in school and we're naked or in our underwear. And I lived that out, and people were critiquing every little imperfection. Thank God there was no cell phone coverage back then. But really, I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned from being in wrestling was that even if you're full of fear, if you just push through that and do it anyway, you can do it. And so many things in life, we all just feel the fear and we ignore it and we just push away. We go, turn around, don't do it. The opportunity to be in the wrestling world came, out of just really luck for me. And I took that opportunity and kind of ran with it. And never in a million years did I think that I was going to end up being in front of all these crowds. But it became like this fun addiction and also this big fear. And, it's just like I was envisioned someone like right before I go through the curtain, someone's right there with their hand just shoving me out. And as soon as you go out, I learned that you either got to own it or you're going to be meek and look weird. And the fans are totally going to call you out on that. So you better just pretend like you know what you're doing and try to own it.
I want to go back to your entrance in a moment, but I'm wondering if there was ever something that you said, this is too much, like this is a bridge too far, because like I don't know what that line was. Clearly, looking back, like you were willing to be a team player and a company woman, but did you ever say, this one I can't do?
Yeah, there was a couple times. One in particular, the Judgment Day pay-per-view bikini contest against Sable. Originally, Vince wanted me to do the hand paint on my boobs, like Sable had done in the past. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I was like, how about rhinestones that barely cover my nipples? Don't ask me why. That felt a little more safe than the paint. But looking back, I see myself, I've only seen myself in a thong bikini a few times out in front of the crowd. And those times really do kind of make me cringe. Just seems like a lot. And then sometimes I, you can see kids in the crowd and it just feels like this is wrong.
On Twitter, though, I feel like lately you have kind of leaned a little bit more into, your popularity and the nostalgia, surrounding those days. There's one tweet that we found. I don't know if you saw this. It has 52 million views. Do you know the one that I'm talking about?
Is it the Judgment Day one?
It's the one where it's like it's something like the streets won't forget, and you say that
Oh yeah.
this one right here, I'll never forget the
Yeah.
streets. 52 million views on this. That's absurd.
I know, it's crazy.
471,000 likes.
It's nuts. It really is.
What does that feel like?
And this is the part of me that is like, I'm just embracing it, There was a long time, probably that 10 years, that I didn't really want anything to do with wrestling. Like, even if I saw something, my stomach would turn and I didn't want to see it. And now I've done a flip.
It's amazing. Well, I'm happy to hear that, because no one wants to look back on the early days with any type of, shame or regret or anything like that. You talked about, the fluke entrance, and I've heard you tell the story about Kevin Nash seeing you backstage. You're there with your boyfriend at the time. He's a big wrestling fan. You know nothing about wrestling. You see Kevin Nash, Rey Mysterio, you're taking pictures. He recognizes you from a magazine. And I would love to ask, like, how the hell did he recognize you from a magazine? Because you were just like a random person in a magazine. How closely was he looking at these magazines to recognize you? Because you weren't really a name, right, back then?
No, I had started to gain a little notoriety in the fitness world. I'd done some fitness contests and gotten on a couple fitness magazines covers. But the one that he saw me in, it was from I had a green bikini on and I was in a fitness contest. And this was like a picture towards the back of a magazine. And he's said it to me over and over. That's why I remember so vividly. But that's what he remembers seeing. And I know he's, super into fitness and the whole bodybuilding world. So I'm sure he saw those other fitness magazines. And, thankfully, he remembered me from that magazine.
And so when Hulk Hogan unfortunately passed away, you did mention that it was Kevin Nash and Hulk who kind of helped make you into a fixture at WCW. I hadn't heard the Hulk part of it. What did you mean by that when you said it?
So Kevin was kind of, I think, the one that really spearheaded it more. But Hulk did have a play in that because it was a storyline with them. And at the time, I had just moved to Los Angeles and I had gotten an agent, Peter Young, who happened to also be Hulk Hogan's agent. So we had like a tie-in there that worked in my favor.
Okay. And when you're dropped into this world, it was only supposed to be like a 3-week thing, right? How do you go from 3-week to actually getting a full-time contract?
Yeah, it was they just said it should be like a couple months gig. And I, at the time I was, taking acting classes, doing the whole auditions and commercials, and just excited to have a gig. And it really just snowballed so fast that, you know, gosh, probably a month by the time I was at the first pay-per-view, this was back when people could be at the airport waiting for you to get off the plane.
Oh, wow.
Like there was just a lot of people waiting for me to get off the plane and in the hotels. And it just kind of snowballed so fast that they ended up offering me a contract. And yeah, the rest is history.
Did you like it off the jump, or at first did you think this is a little bit weird?
You know, being a very shy girl growing up from Idaho, anything was just weird and scary. So there's that. But this world was definitely intimidating. Thankfully, I have 3 brothers, so that kind of prepared me a little bit for, you know, just the backstage craziness. But, you know, just it felt like being in a male locker room, walking around. I see Big Papa Pump, you know, standing there. Everyone's just specimens. And it's very intimidating. And if you don't come from that world and you're not super outgoing, and you don't know the protocol to, you know, go introduce yourself and shake hands, which is a scary protocol if you're shy. You know, you can get yourself off on the wrong foot, which I did a little bit, but quickly learned. Yeah, so I think that I was at that place in life where I knew that I didn't want to have a regular job. I knew that. Like my husband makes fun of me all the time because I'll be like, oh yeah, I worked there for 3 weeks and then I quit because I couldn't stand the thought of sitting at a desk for the rest of my life. So I knew that I wanted to be in the entertainment industry, and I knew that I wanted to go for it. And when I moved to Los Angeles, I didn't have any one specific thing. I just thought, like, I'm going to try modeling, acting, whatever. I'm just going to try it all. And so I did have that dream. I didn't have it specific, and wrestling popped into my lap, and it was just like, okay, you said you wanted to be in the entertainment industry, so here you go.
That protocol that you talk about in saying like you had to learn about it, how did you learn? Like, in other words, did something happen, or did someone tell you like, hey, you really need to go up to everyone and shake their hand and say hello and introduce yourself?
Yeah, that was when I started working with Billy Kidman, who ended up later being my husband. He was the one that kind of filled me in because they put me as his girlfriend on the show, his valet. And he started, you know, kind of, once he realized that I was just like in over my head, he started, you know, helping me out.
The vibe in the WCW locker room towards the end, and I think maybe like towards the very end, you weren't around as much anymore. How would you describe, like, when it seemed like this might be a sinking ship, and you've heard about all these crazy stories about, you know, how there was all this drama in the rudderless ship and the money drying? Like, could you tell that the end was near? Could you tell that it was just this chaotic scene that was going to end?
And it did feel a little, I mean, I had only been there for like a year, so I didn't know what to really compare it to, but it did feel like a little like shit showish. It did feel like some of the top wrestlers were the ones calling the shots. Like I giggle. I remember people talking about Buff Bagwell once saying they were going over a match and he was supposed to lose, and he said, I don't mind losing, but my character shouldn't lose.
Incredible.
So like things like that, I think are funny when you look back. But I ended up they wanted me to take less money and do more shows. And I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing anyways. It was I was just floundering, right? I was there as a valet. So I was kind of ready to just walk away. And so that period, there was like a period of maybe 9 months or so where I wasn't with them at all before they got bought by WWE.
Do you think, was there a point at that time where you were like, I'm done with wrestling? It was a nice little run here, but I'm doing something completely different now?
Yeah, I thought that was going to be it. I was like, okay, that gig lasted longer than I thought it would. And, you know, it's not for me. So when WWE started, hiring people when they bought out WCW and they were taking meetings, Jim Ross took a meeting with me. At that time, I was dating Billy Kidman. And so he had a meeting with Jim Ross, and Jim asked if I was interested in meeting with him too.
And were you interested, or did you have to be convinced? Like, was there a part of you who's like, nah?
No, I was.
Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting because I didn't know anything about wrestling when I started in WCW. And then it was pretty easy to see quickly that WWF was the one you wanted to be at. It seemed like the much better show. So I knew that would be definitely a big step up if I could get hired there.
Was it on the spot? Like, what did they knew who you were. You were established. You were a name. You had success. Was it just a matter of, do you want to come in? We talk a little numbers and now you're in, or was there some convincing involved?
There was no convincing. I think JR was taking meetings at a hotel in Tampa. And by the end of my meeting with him, he pretty much was like, the job's yours. If you want it, we will send over a contract. And at that time I had a lawyer go over it. So he didn't even have to talk the details with me.
I remember your debut because, again, if you're a Torrie Wilson fan at the time, you're like, all right, a lot of the WCW guys are coming in, but some aren't, and it felt like the bigger names weren't, at least initially, right? And so you debut, and if my memory serves me correct, like you were kind of like a thread throughout the night, right? Like you kept popping up throughout the night, and it was the interactions with Vince McMahon. Did you like that when it was presented to you and the way in which it played out? When the night was over, you were like, okay, I liked the way they presented me. I liked the kind of intro I got to the WWE audience.
Absolutely. I loved it. I mean, they couldn't have given me a more grand entrance. And the skits that we did backstage are hilarious. I wish they had high def back then so we could see them now better. But everybody was so funny. Stone Cold and Kurt Angle were so funny in some of the skits we did. And it was obviously extremely intimidating working with Vince during your first day and kissing Vince first day.
What was that like? How did you handle that?
Just like I always handled everything else, just felt someone push me on the back and, just do it. Kissing Vince was interesting because Linda was standing right there.
Okay.
Kind of helping navigate it all. So I don't know if that made me feel better or more weird. But I was just really happy to have a big role on TV then.
Speaking of anxiety and stuff like that, these are larger than life people in front of you now, right? I mean, some of the legends of the game. Are internally, are you dying inside? Like, what is going on with the nerves?
Yeah, the nerves are one thing about the nerves is once you kind of get going, they subside a little bit. So it's like the lead up is worse than the walkthrough. But I think that from there, everything else seemed a little less intimidating unless I was out in front of the crowd. And the crowd's intimidating because you just never know what you're going to get. And they're not afraid to tell you when you've messed up.
Did you feel like you were...
But I think this is part of the lesson, that I've learned early on is that threads throughout my life. You can be scared and you can still do it.
Did you feel like you were a rookie again in the sense that you had to go up to everyone, shake your hand, and do all that locker room stuff all over again?
Oh, yes. You just reminded me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's funny because back then, you have all the people in WWE that are probably wondering if they're going to have their job for much longer because this whole influx of WCW people came in. So even more so, then I was just extra nice to everybody and just wanted everyone to make sure that I, didn't think that I was better than anybody. And, I'd heard all these horror stories about some of the hazing that people have gotten. So it was just, just push through the shyness and make sure everybody knows you appreciate them and you're glad to be there.
Did you get any of that hazing?
I didn't. No.
Never.
I mean, a little in the girls' locker room. A little. Deborah didn't like me.
Why not? What's not to like?
I think she thought I was I like after her guy,
Okay.
which I wasn't, but she seemed to think I was. So she didn't like me. Um, yeah, but I think it's more like just getting to know people. Like back then, the locker room wasn't super, cheery, nice when you came in. I think everybody was just a little more standoffish, and you had to prove yourself. And I remember Stacy and I would travel together, and we would just like, it was kind of like we were almost like holding hands walking into that locker room, and like, oh, here we go, every day, every time we showed up, hoping we weren't going to do something wrong to piss anybody off.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, the women, you generally have your one locker room, right? So when you walk in there, did you feel like there was a divide between the old guard, if you will, and the new kids on the block?
You definitely felt like an iciness.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there was no like, hey, Torrie. Like nobody was greeting each other like they were when I left the company. It was very like you walk in. Actually, now that I'm going down memory lane, I'm thinking of Lita too. She took a long while to warm up. I joke around with her sometimes about it because we did a pay-per-view poster together, and we had to shoot this before a TV taping. So we went in early that day for the shoot, and I remember walking into the locker room to put my makeup on, and I was like, "Hi, Lita," and she like didn't even say hi back.
Didn't even say hi
I
back.
tease her about it. No, she didn't. No, she didn't talk to me all day.
What?
But like I love her to death now. We're young, it is what it is. I tease her about it. But she later, one time when I mentioned it to her later, she was like, I was mad that you got this thing with me.
Wow. So there was like a threatening feeling, right?
Probably so. Yeah. And maybe, who knows, like maybe I would have been that way if I was in their spot.
Right.
Probably not.
By the way, I'm a little ashamed to say I think it was a Survivor Series poster, right?
Yeah.
I looked that up, by the way. That didn't come off the top of my head, just for the record, just for everyone out there.
Oh, you did?
No, I didn't. I'm lying. I was just trying to save myself.
I was going to say you're good.
Yeah, no,
You are good. I know you're good.
I appreciate that. I remember that one. There was also a Great American Bash one back in the day where I remember you were featured on that, and on it goes. Do you think your character could fit in today's WWE, or if you walked into today's WWE, you would have had to be a completely different person?
Oh, I don't think I mean, character or person?
Well, actually, person might be more interesting. Let's go with person first.
Person, like, I love going there now. I love all of the women. I love it just feels more relaxing. Everyone's more welcoming. So I do love being around all those girls. They're all so sweet, great. Now, like, just the thought of trying to claw my way into a position on TV, like, no, thank you. There's so many amazing women that are so gifted and talented that no, not for me. No, I could never compete with that.
Why do you think that there are less, for lack of a better word, valets in today's? That was always a staple of wrestling, right? Dating back to the 80s, even the 70s. And I don't know if you even consider yourself as such, but I feel like you were more that than active competitor. Hopefully you don't take that as an insult. Why do you think there's less?
No, not
why is there less of that today than back even in the early 2000s?
That's a good question. I mean, some people do it so well. Chelsea Green, I love her. I love her character. She is like just the epitome of someone that can kill it in the ring as a wrestler and then also kill it when she's a valet, kill it in backstage skits that are like, literally, she makes the most of every second she gets on TV. And she is the epitome of someone that would be just a great valet. I do think that they could really add a whole layer in that makes things, interesting. but I don't know why they don't.
Scarlett is another one, maybe more of like the old school type, Karrion Kross's wife, who doesn't really wrestle but is just there by his side. Reminds me of some of the characters from your era. Could you did wrestle, but you weren't as active, and I know you've been asked about never winning the title, and you don't really care about that because it's all just someone's decision. So I won't even ask you about whether or not you care. But could you have been as active as the women are expected to be today? They're tremendous athletes today. They're all wrestlers. They all do their thing, and they're given the same type of respect and airtime for the most part as the men. Do you think you could have done that if you walked into this era?
I think I could have done that with training. The last probably 2 years that I was wrestling, maybe 3, I wrestled a lot more, and I was wrestling on house shows, and then maybe not always TV, but at least 3 nights a week I was wrestling on the house shows. And I know my body was always hurting. I had mentioned to Kevin Owens once, we were sitting on a plane next to each other, and I was like, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like my body was just not like, I was always hurting. And like, why did I have back surgery when I didn't wrestle nearly as much as some of the other people? And he was like, well, maybe it's because you weren't wrestling all the time. And so your body like never really got used to it. Every time it was like, if you had like a lull, it was like you're like reprogramming your body to take, to be rear-ended by a car. Basically, that's what it is. So I lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. Well, it's basically whether or not you would be successful and willing to do the schedule that they do now and the bumps that they do now. And you were.
I think their schedule is better now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do they not do house shows? Seems like they have a much better schedule. But totally, when I was learning to wrestle, I was having fun learning to wrestle, and that's part of what played into when I had back surgery. Like, I didn't want to go back just to do be a valet. I wanted to wrestle, but I just knew how I felt, and I didn't want to put my body through that.
So regarding the back surgery, why did it seem like that happened and then you just never came back? Was that the plan when you went out and got the surgery?
It wasn't the plan. No, while I was at home, I thought about it, and I was like, the pain that I was feeling so much leading up to that, being frozen for sometimes like 30 minutes. I'd just sit there on the couch crying because I was so locked up. The thought of putting my body through more of that had no appeal to me. I was fine, like hanging up everything I had. So that call came after I had been home for a while. I just called Johnny Ace at the time and said, could I have my release?
And did he say yes? Like just right away, or did he try to convince you?
I believe he tried to not convince me, but like we had a conversation. I don't know that he was trying to change my mind about anything, but it was more like, are you sure this is really what you want to do? Let me talk to Vince kind of thing.
Was there ever an idea that you had, an angle, a storyline that you felt really passionately about and pushed for it and pitched it and thought it would be great for you and your character, and it just never came to fruition and you wish it did?
I honestly don't remember.
Were you the type of person to do that?
No, I did. Very rarely did I do that. And I wish I knew then what I know now. Because back then I was more of a people pleaser and didn't want to like rock the boat. So I was never the girl that was in the writer's ear or like trying to finagle my way into a better finish. And so that worked well for some people, but I never tried to do that. And, looking back, I kind of wish I would have done that more, but I was more of the thought, like, that's annoying. Like, I would be annoying to them. So I wish I would have just done that.
Okay. I don't know if you heard, but Maven was on our show a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about his angle with you. He's become like a big YouTube star now. I don't know if you know this, but he's like the guy on YouTube. Did you know this?
Is he? No. What is he doing? What,
oh my gosh.
Like a wrestling show?
No, he started a YouTube channel maybe 2 years ago, and he's just killing it. He's telling stories about the old days, and nothing too, salacious or anything like that. But now he's even evolved into, he went to go see Buff Bagwell when unfortunately he had to have his leg amputated. Like he's doing like actual journalism. He went to go see RVD. He's just become infinitely more popular today than he was back in the, the Tough Enough and post Tough Enough days. And it's a great story.
That's amazing.
He's very honest. And so anyways, I was like, man, I got to say, like, I'm in college and I'm not talking to anyone. And you come into the WWE and you get a WWE contract and you win Tough Enough. And then you get an angle with Torrie Wilson off the bat. And he's like, oh my God, I was like, my mind was blowing. I had the biggest crush on her. This is what he's saying. And so he said he wanted to maybe down the line try to connect with you. What I wanted to ask was, how did you feel about that? Because he was sort of viewed as like, the reality show winner. When you were put in that story with him, did you feel like it was beneath you or did you dig it?
Absolutely. I never thought anything was beneath me. I was just always appreciative to have a storyline or a spot, on TV. I always thought he was really nice. Like the thing about me, like having all these little on-screen hookups is that I also was either married to Billy Kidman or he was my boyfriend or fiance. So that part was always a little weird to me. But outside of that feeling weird, I love Maven. He was awesome, super nice, down to earth, and not like jaded by the wrestling business.
Yeah, he actually has a video on his YouTube channel where he's talking to his wife about some of his more maybe embarrassing scenes, and she's reacting. She's never seen it. It's a great clip. And one of them is the interaction with you, and she's seeing you for the first time because I guess she's not a wrestling person. And he mentioned that I think you guys may have kissed, and Billy was there watching, and he was like, that was really awkward for him because you were married or together at the time. Do you remember any of this?
I remember when we kissed, and yes, I remember he was there. I think he was the one too, where we did a scene where he was in the hospital and I was eating a banana.
Oh, yes.
I saw this on Instagram recently and had totally forgot about it. And I couldn't believe that I did that. Another one of those things you're like, oh my gosh, Torrie, really?
Yes. A different time, a different era. That stuff wouldn't necessarily fly today.
No.
For me, a lot of people ask you about, the angle with your dad, and that was great. But I always thought that the one with Tajiri was very interesting. It was a little bit different. Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, he was so fun to work with. Like, I mean, he didn't speak a lot of English, but everyone always would say, he knows much more English than he lets on. I don't know if that's true or not, but he was always very pleasant to work with. And then that dynamic between us, I thought was really cute and light.
Recently, you celebrated your birthday not that long ago. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
And it seems like you're very proud of where you are in life. It seems like you're very proud of your age and how things have turned out for you. Do you view yourself as someone, I told them not to post this because it does say your age, and I know we're not supposed to say a woman's age. Okay. Well, God bless. What I did say was, I hope that I look like that when I'm 50. Not exactly like that, but like that, that healthy and fit when I'm 50. So God bless you. Well done. Do you view yourself as some sort of inspiration to, obviously a lot of men were fans of yours, kids were fans, all that stuff, but, for women as well, to be proud of their age and where they're at in life once you hit that number?
I mean, I hope to be. I don't know necessarily view myself as that, but I know what I love seeing, and I'm attracted to seeing women who embrace their age and then also are inspiring and don't slow down in the gym. They still embrace their sensual side and they're still them. I think in this world, there is a lot of ageism, and I think people kind of expect you to start shrinking away. And, if that's what you want to do, fine. That's not what I want to do. And I think that it's important to yourself, and it's also important to the people that are watching you, especially if you're on a, platform, to be authentically you and not let the world push you into shrinking away.
Very good message. And so if you were an old school Torrie Wilson fan, or maybe a new school Torrie Wilson fan, or maybe a woman who is 50 who admires you and looks up to you perhaps wants to follow more of your stuff. What is this passes thing that you're doing that I see you promoting? What exactly would someone be getting if they subscribe to this? Not that I have, just for the record. I wanted to get the pitch here. I wanted to get the pitch.
Yeah, Passes has been really fun for me. It's a place where basically my fans want to follow me. It's where I kind of like unleash the beast. I'm a little more like open about being sexier. Like the interesting thing is social media. There are a lot of things that I could post, but then sometimes I don't because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be judged. Well, on Passes, I can be sexier. There's a limit. There's boundaries there. It's nothing like OnlyFans. There's a lot of athletes on there. And it's kind of a place where you can create content that your fans want to see. And evidently, my fans still like the sexy content that I love making. So it's kind of been this weird, perfect marriage. My husband, sometimes he just looks at me and he shakes his head and he's like, you're almost way too good at this. Like, this is so easy. It's not even working.
And so there it is. If you want to join and support, it's going well so far?
It's going great. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a ball.
And your husband's just like a regular dude, right? I don't mean regular dude. Like, he's not from the wrestling world. He's just like he's just an average bloke, as they say.
He's an average bloke. He's in the media industry, but more like golf and sports. And he works for Peacock. And it's interesting because he watched wrestling as a little kid. And then when we connected, when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he kind of started watching wrestling more. And now he's become this like crazy wrestling fan. And we've got it on every Monday and Friday in the house.
Wow.
Sometimes I'm like, I can't watch it tonight, but he's kept me up to date because he's been so into it.
Wow.
And now we go, when I do like signings at WrestleMania, he's like, oh, we got to go to the show. He's all about it.
When you met, did he know who you were?
No, we met through a mutual friend. So like, he got the lowdown, but he hadn't watched wrestling in a long time.
You believe him? I have a hard time believing that. If he's a hardcore wrestling fan, how does he know who you are? He probably tried to play it cool.
He wasn't though. He wasn't. Maybe. I don't know. But he watched wrestling when he was maybe like 5 years old and hadn't since.
Okay, and now has gone more
But
into it.
who knows? Maybe.
And you're comfortable
Now
watching
he's really into it.
You're not. You don't feel weird watching it or anything like that. This is now a good thing for you.
I don't get like that. Like, right? Yeah, it's fun now. It's fun. It feels a lot lighter. I love watching the women they're kicking ass, and it's so cool to see. It's just such a good product, and the wrestling is so big now, bigger than ever.
Yeah,
as you know.
Yes. And I'll let you go in a moment, I promise. I do wonder if that wound, getting into the Hall of Fame, did the wound heal up? Was that the moment? Did that help getting that recognition? That's bigger than getting a belt or anything like that, to be respected and honored like that?
I definitely think it's bigger than any belt they could have ever given me. I honestly never considered the fact that I might be in the Hall of Fame. Never even put that into my radar. But when they did call me, I appreciated so much like what that meant. All of a sudden I realized like, wow, this is them actually saying thank you for all the shit you did and all the time that you were on the road and what you put your body through. Like, just that thank you meant so much more to me than I ever realized would.
Were you nervous giving the speech?
Oh, hell yeah, of course. I'm nervous doing anything in front of a crowd.
Okay. But are you proud of the speech?
Absolutely, yes. I worked on it for a long time.
The puberty line is legendary. Did you come up with that?
I did.
It was a great one.
I hear it all the time. So,
but legit, people come up to you and say, thanks for helping me during that period? Like, how does someone actually say that to you?
Like at signings, I don't do a lot of signings anymore, but during that time, especially, like they would say like you're a part of my puberty.
Wow. That is.
And now it's even bigger thing to say because I said it in my speech. So
Okay.
now they feel okay saying it.
Yeah. Prior to that, maybe a little weird. if I'm being 100% honest?
No, but that's why it was in my speech, because I had heard it so much.
Unbelievable. Well, kudos to those people. If someone wanted to go back who's maybe a newer fan, like what is your high moment? What are you most proud of in your career? What's the one that you would say to people to go check out?
Oh, golly. My Hall of Fame speech.
At the end, it can't be that.
I don't know. I don't really keep track of anything like that. Like I see things on Instagram like, oh, okay, I was actually a little decent in that match, but I could never, I don't have things memorized. I couldn't tell you what match was.
No, I'm just saying what you're proudest of, like what you thought was the apex of your career.
I am proudest of how much better I got in the ring towards the end. I was just starting to feel like I was understanding it a little bit better. I did feel like I was getting more comfortable when I was out there. I wasn't like completely nervous the whole entire time. I was at that point where I wasn't like a deer in headlights. If I messed up, like I was starting to understand what it meant to kind of go with the crowd on things. But I mean, I still feel like I was like thousands of miles away from where my potential was. But that would be where I'm most proud was, getting better in the ring. Anything before that, like anything bikini related, not necessarily proud, but it is what it is. It's funny and entertainment. But yeah.
Part of your story and what a legendary story it was. I hope that you are proud. I hope that you look back on all those years with great fondness. Thanks for all the great entertainment and I think from afar, what drew people to you, what drew fans to you, was that you seemed very relatable. You seemed like you weren't above anyone, that you weren't larger than life in that sense. You were kind of just like a regular person, and even though you were on the biggest platform and biggest stage, you had this demeanor that made you seem like you were somewhat relatable, if you get what I'm saying. And I think that was part of your
That's actually the best compliment.
Okay.
Thank you.
So much respect, much love to you. Thank you so much for coming on. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you to Natalia Neidhart for helping me find you, because I've tried. I've sent you a few messages on Instagram, never been read, probably blocked by now, but she hooked me up with your email address.
No.
So I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Natty. You're the best. And most importantly, thank you so much for the time. Really, really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Congrats on an incredible career.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right, there she is, the one and only Torrie Wilson on the program, who we can now cross off the list. What a time, what a day, what a pleasure, and hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. In a few minutes, we are going to be joined by Julianna Peña. Looking forward to that. Post Julianna, we'll be joined by Toni Storm, who, if you are not familiar with Toni Storm's work, do yourself a favor and look her up, or maybe don't, and just be introduced to her here, and then on the back end, go look her up, because she might be one of the best characters in wrestling today. Truly, like one of the best characters in wrestling today. And that's male or female. Now, I took a break at the beginning of the show. Does that mean I don't have to take a break now? Or do I take another
Damn
break?
right.
We're good.
It's up to you, yeah.
I'm good.
You were
Let's
the
keep
break
going.
master.
Let's keep going. I could probably answer a few other questions here. Can I do that?
Yeah.
It's time for On the Nose.
Yeah, don't sing it yourself, though. It takes the charm out. You know?
Okay. Kyle, Ariel, what is the delay in booking the Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes fight? I don't think there is a delay. Kayla Harrison fought in June. It's September. I think I said yesterday, I don't think we're getting that fight at the White House. I think the goal is for that fight to happen in the first quarter, and then for, if all goes well, Kayla to fight at the White House. I think it would be perfect for the White House. I think Kayla, there are certain fighters that have to be on the White House card, and I think Kayla Harrison has to be on the White House card. Currently the only American champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist, one of the best representatives of this country in this sport that we have. She's a no-brainer. She's an absolute shoo-in, in my opinion. But I think that fight happens before. The delay, I don't think there is a delay. Now, they talked about the 6-month thing. Maybe that's a delay, but I think that they can get around it. Spanish Armada. Wow. Frank, what's that from?
That is also from Billy Madison.
Yeah. Rank these in-studio face-offs. MVP versus Perry. Rafion Stotts versus the Italian Colby Covington. Oh, that was great. Danny Sabatello. Stevens Perry. Dennis versus the mechanic guy. Ariel versus Dennis. Here's the thing. One of those was in studio. Is Stotts versus Sabatello the only in-studio face-off that we've ever had? I feel like there was another one.
We had Becky bust into the studio.
Yeah, with Rhea Ripley.
With Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
That was all time.
That was.
That might be the only booked in-studio face-off. The Stotts and Sabatello. Usually we do them virtually.
So in studio would have to win. Also, they got into a freaking fight.
Yeah, I mean,
remember that?
It was.
Were you there that day?
Yeah,
Was that a Monday or a Wednesday?
No, I was there.
I thought they were legit. I don't think that was a work, by the way.
I'll say I forgot about Mr. Monday Afternoon.
Remember that?
Kind of miss it, to be honest.
baby. That
Was that me?
That was fantastic.
Said
What'd you say,
I
Frank?
I might miss it.
By the way, you know who he's
Oh.
forgetting? He's forgetting the one we just talked about, Chris Wade and now I'm forgetting the other guy.
Lockney.
No.
Was it not Chris Wade and Brendan Lockney?
Was it
It was. That was. You know what? Low key, one of the
so,
better.
So good, you remember the names every time.
Low key, one of the better feuds in PFL history.
Wade was great at having feuds with everybody. That's why I loved Wade.
Oh, here's a good one. Matt Berkey. First, are we all now in agreement that GC stands for gastrointestinal Connor?
That's tough. I saw someone say, add a B onto it, make it BGC, Bubble Guts Connor.
Oh, God. Shadowlink. Sup, Ariel and friends. Hot take, the White House event should not happen. Reminds me of a kingdom hosting an event. Come on, stop it with this. It's the White House on the 250th birthday of the United States. Now, are you saying this because you don't like the president? Like, forget that for a moment. It's the UFC at the White House. 9 years ago, the UFC was banned in the state of New York. And now they're having an event at the White House?
9 years ago, they're doing fights at the Waffle House.
Yeah, come on.
Now they're going to the White House. This is
Maybe I'm naive. I don't view the UFC holding an event at the White House as a political thing. I view it as, I don't think we recognize the fact that come next summer, there's going to be a ton of celebrations around this country regarding the 250th birthday of America. And I'm looking forward to it. I wonder what it's all going to look like. And I think we need to get back to loving this country regardless of, how we feel about the times. I hope so. Someone asked me this recently. I said, actually, I saw my neighbor. There's this amazing guy who is my neighbor. I love this guy.
Shout out to your neighbor.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this guy, but he is an older man. I do believe his wife passed away a few years ago.
Beats the books, right?
Yes, I've talked about him.
Yeah, but keep going.
He's always walking around the neighborhood reading a book. He never buys his books. He goes to the library and he'll finish them, fat ones, within 2-3 days. It's unbelievable. And so every time I see him, every 2-3 days, walking, no matter the year, the temperature, the weather, he's walking, reading his book. And I'll always be like, what are we reading today? And it's like some super dense, Egyptian history, this, that, and the other. Political history, fiction, nonfiction. And I saw him last week on September 11th, because I think last Wednesday was September 10th. That's when Charlie Kirk was killed. And then the next day was September 11th. September 11th is an awful day. And I saw him Thursday morning and I said, it's just a very somber day or sad day in our country, I said. And he's like, oh, our country. You view this as your country now? And I said, yes. I've been living here longer than I lived in Canada. And I love living here. I love being an American. I still love this country, and I'm very proud of my roots, but this is where my kids were born. This is where I've chosen to live my life, and this is where I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be working in America. I always looked up to all things American. So I think that we need to be proud of America. You don't have to agree with everything. I'm not saying that we need to live in a kumbaya, but I think that the 250th anniversary of America is going to be a great thing. And the fact that the UFC is a part of it is surreal when you look at where the UFC was 20 years ago, let alone 9 years ago. They weren't on pay-per-view in the late 90s.
Make no mistake, there are political implications for this. There will be, things that come from this that are related to Dana White, the president as well. But that's not a reason not to do this. This is still a significant event from a cultural perspective.
It's huge. It's big for the sport. And by the way, it's big for the fighters too. Like, could you imagine getting on that card? It's big for them.
My mom doesn't know Ilya Taporia from Islam Makhachev from Tom Aspinall, doesn't know a lick about MMA. She's hit me up probably 3 or 4 times about the White House card already.
Really?
Yes.
She's into it.
She's very interested in how they will pull this off, and she's aware of it happening. So that means it's going on some sort of news networks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys want to talk about it every week on BITB. It's tough.
It's tough.
Instead, we'll do a deep dive on the flyweight division.
Oh, you know what?
Who's next after Van?
Who is next after Van? It is a good question.
Or next big star at heavyweight? Buchecha?
Oh, yeah. That's a big one. By the way, why does Eric sound so not excited to talk to Julianna?
Look, man, there's a technical stuff we have to arrange.
All right.
I think the roles are reversed. I don't think Julianna's excited.
She's got the biggest smile on her face.
Is she mad at us again? Surely we've gotten over that. Life's
She's
too
nodding.
short.
She's nodding.
She's mad?
Vehemently, yeah.
Jesus. What did we do? We've been through so much together. And now I think that we are on the best path. Do you guys agree?
Absolutely.
Who could forget the Christmas Day text of 2024?
Water under the bridge.
Has it not even been a year since that?
Christmas Day 2024. It's one of the worst Christmases of my life.
Felt it across
The best part was I was writing Megillas, GC nowhere to be found. Never backed me once.
Let sleeping dogs lie, man.
Never even chimed in there with like, hey, what can I do here? How can I fix this? Let's ask Julianna about the infamous Christmas Day text of 2024. Hello, Julianna. How are you?
I'm over it. I'm good. How are you?
Okay. It's so great to see you. You look fantastic.
Thank you. So do you. How's it going, Ariel?
It's going pretty well. It's actually been a tough day, Julianna, if I'm being honest. I feel like we could talk about this because we're pals.
What happened?
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you know Tom Gerbasi?
Yeah.
Oh God. UFC.com.
Love Tom.
Well, unfortunately he passed away, and it's awful news. So I'm very, very sad today, and I'm so sorry to tell it to you like this because I thought maybe you saw on social media, but yeah.
Oh no.
I know it's. He just came out with this book last week. Last week he came out with this book, and
his family's probably shattered. That's horrible.
I know. I am so sad. He was the nicest guy, and I was talking about how he was so nice to everyone. The fighters loved him, the media, and I'm so sorry to tell you this, but I can't get over the sadness.
That's seriously horrible, Ariel.
I know.
Why did you have to hit me with that right now?
I'm sorry. I wanted to maybe talk about your memories of him because I know that he's been around the sport for a long time, so I apologize. But you asked me how I was doing,
Tom.
and I feel so sad. And our other guests don't know him today. You're the only MMA guest on the show today, and so I just, you know how it is. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
Dude, that sucks so bad. I have been doing interviews with Tom since 2013.
Yeah.
And he has and always will be my favorite reporter because he's so good. I mean, we literally have like a personal relationship, friendship. His family has got to be absolutely gutted. That's horrible. Horrible. How did he pass, Ariel?
I don't know all the details, but I found out last night, and I was kind of numb to it, and I was choosing not to really like believe it in a weird way. And then the boxing writers, because he was a boxing writer too. For many, many, many years, the Boxing Writers Association of America tweeted it out at like 12 o'clock today. I'm so sorry, and I hope you're not upset at me for bringing it up, but I thought maybe you had seen it.
He just got awarded
Yes.
something from, I think, the Boxing Association, and he sent me the pictures because he brought his granddaughter on stage and she was able to share the moment with him. And he was so happy because she was so well behaved and he didn't think she was going to, but she went up there and got the award with him. And he sent me all the pictures with his granddaughter in the dress and everything like that. Honestly, I can't tell you how much I look forward to doing. If I ever look forward to doing interviews, it's with Tom because I know that he always puts the fighters in such a great light. That's the picture.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, that's so sad. And he always had such good things to say about me. He's such a great man.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Do you need a minute? I'm really sorry to be the one to do this.
It's just there's just been so much bad things going on and it is so depressing.
I know.
The last time I was on your show too, I was crying and this is not how I wanted.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Juliana. I just know you're an OG. You've been in the game for so long, and everyone loved him. And I keep staring at this book on my desk with his name right there, and it just came out last week. And again, I hope anyone, if they want to support Tom, buys it because it's an amazing piece of work. It's about the 100 greatest fighters in boxing history. So I can't get over it, but I am sorry, and I loved him too. I loved him too. So. I think what I said was at the beginning of the show was because I was getting emotional talking about him, and I feel like Tom, he kind of has like that New York sense of humor, would have sent me a text and being like, "Hey man, like stop crying, get over," he would always send this funny text. Even when shit would happen to me, he'd always be like, "Stop causing trouble." You know what I mean? So
yeah, that
type of thing. So the best way that I can honor him is to, we have a good day and have a good chat and. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Are you okay, or do you want to take a break?
No, I just rest in power, Tom. Dude, honestly, there's not anything negative that anybody could ever say about him because he lived such a, exemplary life. Like he was always so good, and like you said, he would always have like a really fun way of making me feel like the best in the world and making me feel like I was unstoppable and he believed in me. And even if he had to go call the other girl to get her side of the story, he left me believing that he liked me more and that like he wanted me to win and that he knew I was going to win. And so he was, dang, that sucks so bad. I know his daughter and his wife are probably just gutted. Oh, I am really, really sorry to hear about that. That really makes me super sad.
The one thing that I'll just say, and then we could talk about what you're here to talk about, which I'm excited about, is that you have literally said everything that I said about him, and I had an hour to think about it. You just proved to everyone who doesn't know who he is exactly who I was trying to tell them that he is, because you can't fake that type of reaction or emotion or even the stories that you're telling. He was that guy. He was salt of the earth, just a pure gentleman, and everyone loved him. People say that sometimes, but I swear to God, I have never met a single person being like, that Tom, I don't really, like, that doesn't exist with him. And there's very few people that I've ever met that could proudly boast that. So again, may he rest in peace, as you said. And I did want to ask you, and I don't even know how my brain went there. So again, I really do profusely apologize for dumping that on you. But how are you doing? Because the last time we saw you was obviously a tough time. You've had some time to get over the fight, but then I see you're having surgery and you're learning how to walk again and all this stuff, and that's not easy in its own right. So physically and mentally, how are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I've been going through it, dude. I have got to tell you that, having back surgery and, having all these other surgeries that I've been having lately is not fun. And the only thing that I'm like clinging to is that like, if somebody's going to do it, it's going to be me. It has to be me because I had gotten ran over by a car walking on the sidewalk and had my nose smashed in, and I was able to come back from that. I was able to fight a dude in the alley and get my eye swollen shut for 3 days and 11 stitches in my eye and come back from that. I was able to tear out both of my knees, dislocate both of my elbows, have multiple surgeries, still some that I never disclosed with the public. And I was able to come back from that and get my hand raised inside that octagon. So that is the one thing that I am just holding on to, that like I've been down these roads before. I've built these roads, and if anybody's going to be able to come back from something like this, it's going to be me. So that's the one positive that I've just been clinging to, because I'm once again down in the dumps about having to have a surgery, and it can be very mentally taxing if you're not prepared. And so I've just been holding out hope that this is just a part of the show, and I'm gonna I am on the up and up, and I'm excited for what the future holds, and making a comeback, because I think that the comeback is always the good thing to look forward to, and the exciting thing to hold out for.
If this was sort of like a football field and getting to the end zone is you're 100% healthy, like how far along the way are you right now? How close are you to feeling as good as possible?
Well, I just got back from physical therapy, and I just got a beautiful bouquet of roses yesterday to celebrate my 6-week post-op.
Oh.
And so it's funny because I got these roses and I thought, oh, I didn't even know it's been 6 weeks yet. So I'm about, I would say, maybe like we're a little bit past the 50-yard line for sure. But for me, it's not like this thing where I'm like, I have to be ready because I have a fight in 1 month and I need to, like make sure that I'm there. It's like, I'm going to take my time and make sure that I'm not getting over my skis here, because I got to carry this body on this back for the rest of my life. And I need to make sure that I'm taking it easy and not trying to rush myself in order to, make sure that I make some money, or else I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been blessed enough to be able to chill a little bit and just really take my time and maybe focus my energy on some other things.
Like what?
Well, I'm going to do a remodel in my house. That's number one.
Oh, wow. How big are we
And then-
talking here? Are we talking like complete gut job or?
I might have to move out for a few months for sure.
Okay.
Definitely gonna have to, you don't want to be trying to live in a house and breathe dust and do all that stuff. So it's definitely gonna be a pretty big job.
This is actually a big debate in my household right now because my wife wants to do that and I don't want to do it. I don't want to move out. I'd rather just get a new house. What do I have to go through this? Move out, come back? It sounds like a pain in the butt. You're into that?
I'm definitely not into this long drive that I have to do for my daughter. So I think I'm definitely going to choose a place closer to her school so that I'm not having to do this hour drive every day.
Okay.
But I love my house. I love the space. I love the neighborhood. I love the seclusion of it. So I definitely think that, a more modern uptake is going to, be lovely. And I spend a lot of time here as far as, some of my recovery down in the basement and, office work and being close to the gyms that I train at, which was the main reason why I decided to move out into the suburbs, because it was a lot closer to the training that I had to do. So I don't want to move. I love my house. I think it's a beautiful home. But I know that if you were to do one, I would suggest, if you were going to move, maybe moving even closer to the studio that you have to go to every day.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I'll take that under advisement. Okay, other than remodeling your house, what else?
Yes. Okay. So I am going to be joining the broadcast team for Real American Freestyle, which is live on Fox Nation. And their next show they're gearing up for is October 25th.
Wow. There it is. Thank you, Frankie. Breaking news. Mic'd up at RAF02. I saw you at the debut event, but you were just a spectator, right? You were just, there you are. Enjoying
Yes.
the scenery. Now you're actually working the broadcast.
Yeah, so my agent Chad Bronstein
The man?
put this, yes, the man, the myth, the legend, put this promotion together with the help of his friends, Eric Bischoff and Izzy Martinez. And this was a project that they were doing with Hulk. And then Hulk unexpectedly passed away. And so this was something that they decided that needed to continue. And it was something that we know that he would want to continue. And we're doing it in honor of the Hulk himself. And so, Terry was a big part of this vision. And of course, he loved, real American freestyle wrestling, and he loved, the WWE aspect of it as well. So it was kind of like a bridge between real wrestling and WWE wrestling. And so, you get there and you kind of see these guys pushing each other and kind of having that, WWE moment, but then it gets down to the brass tacks of things, which is real wrestling. And I think that it was such a sight to see. I was so impressed with the way that everything came together because, Chad has been talking about this for months. And then to actually see it come into fruition was so beautiful. And I was blown away with the production. I was blown away with, the venue and all of the fun things that the venue had to offer for the fans. So it was a really fun event, and to be there and to watch it was really inspiring. I saw Holly Holm came out on a day's notice and did really well against Stephanie. She was another wrestler from, I think, the Mexican side. And so it was just really awesome to see. And now I get to be a part of it, which is another, little feather in the cap.
I thought that Holly moment was amazing, and I think maybe some of the wrestling purists would say, oh, no, Wyatt Hendrickson competing, or this guy, that guy. But to me, we all know Holly. We know her background. For them to be able to do like a surprise thing, because you couldn't do a surprise competitor in an MMA or boxing event, but for her to appear like that, had a little pro wrestling element to it, and then for her to compete against someone who's a mainstay in this world and actually do well. Chael Sonnen put it perfectly, I thought, when he was on the show in the aftermath. He said it worked out perfectly for RAF. Had she won, people would have said this was a work. This was scripted, right? But because she did so well and then lost, it was like, oh, damn. Holly is one of the greatest of all time. Obviously not good enough to compete against someone on a day's notice who does this for a living, but holy crap, what a fun moment that was.
I was so not only impressed but elated for her. She came in from boxing sparring that week and she had a black eye. And then she goes out there and wrestles on a day's notice. And everyone's thinking she's getting a black eye from the wrestling match. It's like, no, she had that before she came in. It was such a surprise. The fans went crazy for her. And, cheers to Holly to be able to have the guts to, get out there and wrestle in front of all those people on a day's notice. It was awesome. And she did very well. I know that she hadn't wrestled in like 7 months. And so for her to get out there and just, be able to do as well as she did, I thought that was incredibly impressive. And I was, I told her afterwards, like, that was amazing. You did awesome. And of course she didn't get the win, but it didn't matter because I felt like it gave her a lot of street cred. And I think that she got a lot more respect for just being, like you said, one of the greats, and she will always have that, in her name, that infamy of being able to do boxing professionally, do MMA professionally, and now wrestling at that stage and at that level. It was super impressive.
What do you think RAF's ceiling is? Like, do you think that they could be a consistent thing, a show every month or something like that, and be a part of the combat sports landscape like the major, boxing promotions, UFC, PFL, pro wrestling, like just a part of that conversation?
Absolutely. I think that the most amazing thing about RAF is that these wrestlers that wrestle for absolutely nothing get the chance to make some real money. Some of these guys, they do this for a living. And, when you get to the Olympics, you might win a sponsor, you might win a couple $1,000s, but it's not like life-changing money. And that's why I like RAF, much like a UFC fighter. If you're giving the opportunity to these athletes to be able to go out there to compete, to do what they do for a living, and then pay them on top of it, it's just a great opportunity, and they don't have to get punched in the face. 6 minutes of wrestling, you get paid, you get in, you get out. It's a beautiful thing. And I definitely think that there is no ceiling for RAF. I know that they're looking forward to doing, a show once a month. And I know that they're scheduled for at least 12 shows next year, and some other exciting things, down the pipeline that I don't know that I can discuss right now, but I know that they have some really exciting things on the horizon, aside from the 12 shows that they have for next year scheduled.
Are you going to compete for them as well?
They're trying to get me to compete. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely think that I could. I know that they're trying to get Holly to come back, and that's definitely something that they're wanting to do in the future. And I asked her too, would you wrestle again? And she was like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, all right, if you're doing it, I got to do it. But for me, I'm really focusing on making a MMA comeback. And if I can do both at the same time, maybe go wrestle real quick and then, go into the fight, or vice versa, it's definitely in the realm of possibility. I don't know that I would wear a singlet per se, but maybe they could, put a long bra on me and some regular shorts. So
What's wrong?
we'll see
What's
how
wrong
it
with the
goes.
classic wrestling singlet? You don't like it?
I mean, I don't know. Holly rocked it, and
She looked like a
killed
G.
it, and she looked like such a G. Yeah, but I mean, she's a specimen. I don't know that I would look that great in it. I'm comfortable in the long bra. We'll see. It's not. I'm not saying no. Never say never.
Okay. So as of right now, you're just working as a broadcaster. If you did compete, like, what's the ultimate dream match for you? Wrestling match. Julianna Peña versus who's the opponent?
Oh man, I don't know. I think that girl that beat Holly, Stephanie, would be a good start for me if I was going to do it. I think that looks like a fair matchup for me.
All right, fair enough. By the way, you posted that picture with Hulk, and obviously I know about the history. Do you have any, larger than life icon, but you share the same agent? Any interactions with him? You got to meet him. You got to be around him. Any stories that come to mind?
I can tell you a few stories right off the top of my head. I shared a moment with him when he came to Chicago, and we did an appearance together at one of the bars. And meeting him and being able to sit down in the booth and spend 30 minutes just talking and picking his brain and going over all of these things was incredible. We got to share some time down at Mar-a-Lago together, and that was also very cool because for me, especially being a UFC fighter, I'm just a regular person. And when you get around Hulk and, these huge mega superstars in the WWE world, these people can't go to a restaurant and sit down and have a bite to eat without somebody just bum rushing them and asking them to stand up to take a picture with them. And I know what that's like on a small scale, but I don't know what that's like on a mega superstar scale like Hulk. And so when we went to Mar-a-Lago, it was like, you're standing around him and you're just another person, but all of these people just flock to him like crazy. And so you can tell that he is happy to meet them. He's grateful to meet them, but he just wants to be a normal person where he can just, relax for a second and just enjoy the festivities, but he never can because he's a mega superstar. And so it was kind of some of those types of stories where he would just, tell us, these things that happened to him in his life. And it was so funny, and he was so charismatic. And then, doing these press conferences for my fights, for these main events or these co-main events, that I've been a part of, he would get on the horn with me and trade information of what I was going to say or give me ideas of how I can make it a work, and all of these great tidbits and tips for me to be able to say on stage. And so I was trying to put a little Venezuelan vixen spin on it, but at the same time, it was some of the encouragement that he had given me to make me more confident to go out there and just start, being myself. And so it was really exciting because before those press conferences, he would tell me what he thought I should say or how I should phrase it. And then after the press conference, he was like, "Girl, you killed it,"
Wow.
And so he would just, get on the phone before and after, and we traded back surgery stories stories and our back injuries and things like that. And so there was many times that I spoke with him that he was just nothing but love and charisma and encouragement. And, he was just one of a kind, like you said, salt of the earth type of people.
I can't imagine what it would be like to be on a stage like that, to do a press conference and then get pointers from Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Like the type of confidence you would get from that, and also like validation, and just like that this dude is watching your stuff and commenting on your stuff and giving you props. Like that, I mean, he's the greatest of all time in many people's eyes as far as sports entertainment is concerned. That must, and you also get pointers from time to time from Ric Flair too, right? You get the Chugos.
No, that's what I'm saying. These guys are like mega superstars, but if you actually talk to them, they're just regular people, and so that's that kind of side that I was able to see that maybe not everybody else was able to see. They just only view them as like this superstar that they like demand things from, like you have to take this picture, you have to do this, but like you could just tell that they're just normal.
As far as fighting, you're expecting to fight in 2026, right?
Yes.
It won't be in 2025.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's too soon.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. I haven't heard anything from the promotion as far as them, calling me. But I would like to fight in 2026.
Have you
I would
started?
like to fight at the White House. I would love to fight at the White House.
That's the one, right?
That's the one that I want.
Would you want to fight before that, or is that timeline actually better for you because it's a little?
Again, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself as far as like I need to get back by this day. I think when I get back into fighting form and when I feel like the time is right, I guess I'll decide that I'm ready to take a fight again. But what would I like in a perfect world would to be sitting there in the White House lawn watching Amanda and Kayla and being like, I got next.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to actually compete. You just want to be the one sitting there in the front row.
I just want to sit there and harass them like they've been harassing me for my last 3 fights. It's ridiculous. It would be nice to just sit there and watch the show and eat some popcorn like they've been doing to me for the last 3 fights.
Who would you want to win? Because there's an obvious storyline with both. Who would make more sense for you?
I think a trilogy with Amanda would be the best case scenario just because we have shared, so much time inside the octagon. But then I would also love to fight Kayla again because I know that I can beat her. And I just feel like given the circumstances that I've been facing for these injuries that I've been trying to, get over the hump and get inside the octagon and actually fight. Like, I think that if I could get into a fight camp healthy with having all of these injuries healed, I can beat her. I know I can.
You said in the immediate aftermath you want next. Do you feel like you are going to get next?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I mean, in a perfect world, I would absolutely love that. I don't see why not. I've seen stranger things happen inside the UFC for the women's bantamweight and all of the women's divisions, to be honest.
Do you feel as though there's anyone else, like right now at 135? There's Norma Dumont, but there's no like sure thing. So do you feel like that works in your favor?
As far as getting the immediate rematch with either one of those?
Yeah, like there aren't a ton of roadblocks. You know what I mean? Like there isn't like, oh, this person's been waiting for 10 years. That type of thing.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen anybody else say that they want to fight Amanda or Kayla except me. So I'm willing to fight either one of them. And if I could, jump right into an immediate rematch with either one of them, I think that would be the best case scenario. I don't see any roadblocks to it, but maybe the promotion has other ideas. I'm not sure.
And so let's see how that all plays out. Just curious, I asked you who you want, but who do you actually think wins the fight?
I don't know. I think like my head says Amanda and my heart says Kayla. So I don't know. It's may the best woman win. I don't have anything personally against either one of them.
You don't? I thought you did.
I've grown.
I like
Ariel.
this.
I'm more mature now.
I love this. This is wonderful. This is good because you just turned 21.
Exactly. I just celebrated my 21st birthday in August, and I'm a whole new woman.
By the way, you were the first one to introduce me to La Boo Boos, and now I am happy to report that my daughter is obsessed with Labubus, that my nieces are obsessed with them, that everyone's obsessed with them. I had no idea. Oh, there they are. Yes. How many do you have? And why are they so expensive?
These were gifts.
Oh my God.
So I don't know how, well, I do know how expensive they are. I got my daughter the Coca-Cola one, which was insane, because just, I've never been to a Pop Mart store, and they opened one up in the suburbs, and I went there, and the place is just crawling with people that are fighting over these boxes. But of course, being a fighter, I got my hands on one.
Yeah.
And I got her the Coca-Cola version, and so she was super stoked about that.
How many do you have? Like you and your daughter combined?
4.
Oh, that's it. I thought you would have way more.
We have some Lafufus.
Ah, yes, the Fugazis.
We have 2 Lafufus for real Labubus.
Now, and are you okay with your daughter like having it on her backpack? Because
No.
Okay, yeah, my daughter did
No.
that, and I was afraid someone was going to rip it off her backpack. You know, it's
It's
scary out there.
less about thinking that somebody's gonna steal it, which is also one of the things where I'm like concerned about, and it's more about the fact that I know that it will be a distraction for her. Like, look
Okay.
what I got, and what you don't got, I got a little. You know what I mean? So, I won't let her take it to school.
Which is the holy grail, like the one that you're dying to have?
I would like the gray one with the rainbow teeth. I think that one's cute. I don't remember the name of that one, but
Okay.
that one's cute. But oh my gosh, I just heard like 3 days ago they're going to do a Louis Vuitton and Labubu collab.
Oh, dang, that's big time.
Yeah. I definitely would love to get my hands on that one, but I feel like now that like I had them before, I remember I was asking you like I want a Labubu, and then I ended up getting one, and now that I have them and I love them and I like to change their clothes and stuff, there's a part of me where I'm like, man, they lost their mystique a little bit just because everybody's like obsessed with them now, you know. Obviously I love mine, I still carry mine, but I'm like they don't quite hit the same, you know. It used to be like a secret thing, and
I feel
now
you.
it's like everybody's got it.
By the way, who's sending you these flowers for the 6 weeks post-op, the Labubus? Who are these people sending you these things?
An incredible friend.
Okay, I love it. Tremendous.
Yes.
Congratulations on the RAF news. October 25th, Fox Nation at Penn State, which is, as everyone knows, a breeding ground for incredible wrestlers, including Bo Nickel, who of course was successful on RAF1, who's going to be competing at MSG, so probably a little too tight for him, but I'm sure he'll be front and center, and so many others as well. Head coach at Penn State, Cale Sanderson, among many others, other legends that have been there. I love the fact that you're involved. You're tremendous on the mic when you've done the combate stuff. It's always been great. Such a great, personality and presence on camera. So well done on their part, and thank you for the kind words about Tom, our friend, at the beginning of the show. And again, I apologize for putting you on the spot there, but I thought that you knew, and at least I was happy that we were able to honor him a little bit. So I hope that was okay, and thank you so much, Julianna. Really appreciate it. Glad to hear that you're doing better, and great to see that we're back in each other's good graces. And we'd love to have you back in studio, by the way. Everyone guys, don't you miss Julianna back there? Doesn't everyone miss?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always welcome
they're
to
laughing.
rejoin the Parlay Pals.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Pizzi's been blowing it. Pizzi's.
Yeah, it's been a thing. They're wondering when you're going to come back, but like no pressure.
No, PT ruined it. He killed the vibe.
Why'd you have to kill this, GC? Why'd you have to bring him up?
Pizzi killed it.
Yeah, no, PT killed it. You reminded me though. Thanks, GC.
All right.
I forgot about that,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
me too.
remembered now.
That's loyalty.
Hey,
we remind you
you
of the
guys-
feuds.
Merry Christmas, Julian.
Check out RAF2. It's going to be live on Fox Nation. You guys are going to catch Kyle Snyder versus Mason Parrish, Roman Bravo Young versus Nathan Tomasillo, the RFA champs putting his belt on the line against the 2-time champ from Penn State who wrestles for the Puerto Rico team. So there's some awesome matchups. There might be like a Helen Morales down the line and Gable Stevenson. If you're listening to this, wouldn't you want to get revenge against Wyatt Hendrickson, who has a win over you? Like, come on, dude, you got to come to RAF. Come and get paid to do the thing that sets your soul on fire, that you're passionate about, which is wrestling. So come on, come and get that revenge, brother.
I love it. Looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on, Julianna. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
There she is, the great Julianna Peña, the Venezuelan vixen. Always great to have her on. Great to see her in good spirits, great spirits, and great to see that she is a part of the RAF family. All right, more to come. We're going to talk about the Chris Eubank, Conor Benn press conference that has wrapped up in London. Show you some of the highlights. There was some good stuff there. Other news and notes as well, including the new location for the Jake Paul Tank Davis fight on the same day, November 14th. But there is a new location. We'll talk about that. But now, so very excited to say hello to our next guest because, as I said at the top of the show, some have said that she is the best thing in pro wrestling today. And I'm not just saying that because she's standing by. Some have said that she has the best character, gimmick, whatever you want to call it, in pro wrestling today. Best women's pro wrestler today. And I've asked several others, like, am I off base if I say this? Absolutely not. She's on fire. She's a part of the All Elite Wrestling roster. She's going to be a big part of the All Out show this Saturday, All Out 2025 at the Scotiabank Center in beautiful Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Some have said that she is a legend and that she is timeless. She is the one and only, the pride of both New Zealand, Australia, and England, Toni Storm. Kind enough to join us on this Wednesday afternoon. There she is. Hello, Toni. How are you?
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Lovely. You look lovely. This is quite the setup you've got.
Well, I know that you're used to sometimes talking to, some of the jabroni wrestling media, but now I've lost you. Now your connection has died on us. What a start. She looks fantastic, by the way. She looks timeless. Can we reconnect with her?
Absolutely. We're working on it.
Okay. She is the current AEW Women's World Champion. She has held that title since February of 2025. There's the four-way match that she's going to be a part of this Saturday at All Out. Yesterday, we spoke to the one and only Ricochet about his involvement on the card. I told you that Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are going to be coming together in the main event, and obviously they have a long and rich history of Toronto wrestling. I did get word that the internet was a little spotty there, so I don't know if the best thing is to go like on LTE or Wi-Fi. I'll let you guys figure that out, but I did get word. She's at the arena right now because they're doing a 3-hour September to Remember Dynamite broadcast tonight on TBS. They're also going to be doing a 1-hour pre-show on Saturday on TNT, which will lead into the pay-per-view, which you could get on HBO Max here in the United States, Amazon Prime throughout the rest of the world. And that will be in the afternoon, and Saturday is going to be a very important and big day in the world of professional wrestling because there's both the All Out show and then there's the WrestlePalooza show that is the first WWE event on ESPN. I think rising tide lifts all boats. I think that the two of them going head-to-head, so to speak, AEW is going to be first, so they're not actually going to air at the same time, but side by side actually brings more awareness to both in a crazy way, sort of like the old Monday Night War days. And so I actually think that this is a good thing for pro wrestling fans, and I'm going to be locked in. So as you can see there, she has this sort of old school silver screen. Her promos are unbelievable. The one recently regarding Mercedes Moné was amazing. Her feud with Mariah May, who has now since left and signed with WWE, was incredible stuff. She is really she's really hitting it out of the park, and it's a completely different persona. It's a completely different character than the one that she had in WWE. In WWE, she was more of a punk rock, if you will, star who never really quite got off the ground, who never really quite got going, never really got that big moment, that big break. And certainly she has said in subsequent interviews that she, was a little bit frustrated and felt her love of pro wrestling dissipate as a result of the state of her career at that time. But she seems to be tremendously happy in All Elite Wrestling, and she seems to be in a great place. And it shows. It comes across. She started her pro wrestling career, by the way, at age 13, believe it or not. Have we been able to reconnect with her?
No, they're efforting.
Okay. She also said recently that she signed a 5-year deal with All Elite, and she wants to be a lifer there. So she seems extremely happy. We've got a lot of great coverage over on uncrowned.com regarding this big day in pro wrestling. the team over there. Everyone does such a great job. Drake, Anthony, Robert, Kel, Raj, Phil, Shaheen, of course, our fearless leader. Am I forgetting anyone? I hope not. They do such a great job of covering pro wrestling, and they do it in a professional and honest way. And I love it. I really do love it. And it's great to see a consistent home. I mean, I suspect now ESPN is going to cover pro wrestling a lot more regularly, which is great. But I don't know if any other major outlet is covering it like that. Is she back? Toni, are you there? Toni, can you hear me? Okay, we're working through it. We're working through the kinks. This is okay. Toni, can you hear me?
Ariel, I'm so sorry. I'm not tech savvy.
No, it's okay. I understand. This is
sorry about the lighting. This is terrible. I'm so embarrassed.
No, I was.
What can I do for you, Ariel?
Well, it's so great to see you, and it's such an honor to have you on the program because you have been on some kind of roll over the last couple of years. And I said, I don't know if you heard me. I said that one can make a very strong case that you're the best thing in women's wrestling today, and maybe even in wrestling period today. What do you think about that statement?
I mean, if that's what you believe, Ariel, then I guess we're going to have to go with that. I can't really argue.
Do you agree with me?
Of course, darling. Don't make me sound like I've got a big ego here.
No, I want to know. Some people will come on and be like, no, I'm a work in progress. I don't quite feel that way. I'm an imposter, all these things. I deal with, confidence issues. You agree with everything that I'm saying. And so can I ask, why do you think it's working so well?
I have no idea. It's just, this is who I am. I finally broke character. I'm not a character anymore. Everything I've done before this was a gimmick. And I'm finally giving you the real me. So it's just me.
This is you.
This is me.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a lovely time.
Are you having the best?
Are you having fun?
When you say, are you having fun? And I say you're having fun, and then you respond that way, it almost sounds like you're not having fun.
Oh, no, trust me. I'm having the time of my life.
Is this the most fun
It's just the lighting's terrible, that's all.
Yeah, how come we're not in a more glamorous setting?
I've been screaming at everyone I've seen today. No one can give me a simple, straight answer, so I do apologize.
No, it's okay. I appreciate you working through the kinks for us here. Would you say this is the most fun that you've ever had in your career?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yes, one could say that.
Is it true you started as a 13-year-old in wrestling?
That's very true. Yes, far too young, but yes, I did start at that age.
Were you actually wrestling at that age, or were you just doing like little spots here and there?
I was wrestling. I started training in July 2009, and then by October that year, I had made my debut. Very, very small shows in Australia, and Australia wrestling wasn't really a thing at the time. But I started at 13, and I haven't stopped since, apart from the pandemic.
Sure, of course. What a depressing time that was, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Although I do believe you got married during the pandemic.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
I'm a married woman now.
Doesn't seem all that depressing.
Not depressing at all. No, that was quite the highlight.
I was a little disappointed I didn't get a save the date.
Oh, no, darling, we didn't have a wedding.
You just went to the local court hall, right? Courthouse?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just took care of it.
And
took care of it.
Even after the fact, no celebration, no party.
There's no one I like enough to invite.
Okay.
So I figured we were just going to have to get it done.
Your husband, he's okay with your lifestyle now, right? Like your persona, the real you.
I bloody well hope so.
Right. He
doesn't have much of a choice.
Okay. And so your parents back then, I'm just curious about this 13, because I have a 13-year-old son, and I can't imagine him wrestling in front of audiences right now. Your parents were okay with this?
Yes, my mother, she didn't like it at first. She still probably doesn't. But she was supportive nonetheless. She eventually started getting into it and would come to all the shows, and she would make my little costumes. And she's been very supportive of me.
That 13-year-old young girl, was this her dream, what you're living out right now? Is this what she was thinking of? Or is this too far? Like, have you exceeded your own dreams?
I have completely exceeded all expectations I had for myself. I can say that for certain.
What were your expectations?
Oh, well, I didn't think I'd make it this far, but here we are. I guess I didn't really have any. I just had a dream, and here we are.
Most 13-year-old girls aren't dreaming of being a pro wrestler. What was it about this industry, this art form that captured your imagination?
I haven't the faintest idea, Ariel. I really have no idea why I'm so into this.
You have no idea? The showmanship,
No idea.
the athleticism.
I can't remember.
Is everything okay?
Yes. Why? What's wrong?
Well, I don't know, because I'm asking you about the love of your life, your industry. You're on top of the world, and you say that you don't know why you love it.
It's just a deep feeling I have inside of me. It's deep inside. It's spiritual.
Okay. What did it take for this side of you to come out? Because as I said earlier, when we would see you compete in WWE, you are a completely different human being. So what was the turning point?
I mean, I have no idea, really. I mean, of course, there's our president, Tony Khan, and he's an appreciator of fine art and films, and to be honest, I don't know why he's involved in wrestling. There's so many other things he could be, so many better uses of his time. But he's a cinephile, which is probably the best file that you can be. And he leads a massive team that's led us all into this world together. And there's cameras, lighting, music, directing, and he paints a beautiful picture that I happen to be standing in the middle of. So yes, I'm just a creation of President Khan.
As far as the collaborative process with Tony Khan, is it that, or is it you just coming up to him and telling him, I want to do X, Y, and Z?
Well, there's a large team of writers that I have not met. They're in Warner Brothers studio somewhere, probably chain smoking, and they just pump out one sexual innuendo after the next. And Tony Khan gives me a live mic, and the censors have their finger on the button, and we all pray. And it's been quite a ride.
As far as the creative process, is it much different than what you experienced in WWE? Is there more collaboration, more people open to your ideas as opposed to what you experienced in your previous? I
mean, I suppose so, but I get told no a lot.
Okay.
You'd be amazed the amount of times I get told no on things every single week. Tony, he keeps me reined in. But he's been a dream to work with. The only problem I have is that he hasn't brought me Wendy Richter.
Yes, what's going on with Wendy? I've heard you talk about her as perhaps being your greatest rival.
I keep asking. She keeps ducking and dodging me. She's scared.
Have you gotten in touch with her? Have you actually been able to make contact with her?
No contact. I'm telling you, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. She won't fight me.
Perhaps the key to her is Cyndi Lauper.
No.
Have you tried that route?
I will now. I will now that you've mentioned it.
Okay, you haven't thought of that before.
No, that's a great idea.
The first
Maybe
time.
I'll try that. Yes.
Okay. Saturday's a big day, not only for you personally, but for the company, right? All Out, Toronto. Yes. Other than the one show in the pandemic in Jacksonville, the first time outside of Chicago, in Canada, you're in a 4-way. How are the vibes? And here you are at the TV taping, right, for September to Remember tonight on TBS. Could you tell us, how are the vibes heading into this massive day for the company?
Well, I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous. I have 3 very talented women coming after me, so it's a big week. It's a big week for me. I'm as nervous as I should be, probably.
What are you drinking?
I have a little bit of electrolytes in a bottle of water. Don't worry, it's nothing like that.
Okay, okay. What could I ask? It's such a privilege to talk to someone just a few hours before TV. We don't usually get this opportunity. What is life like for you? You know, some 5 or so hours before the red light goes on. What are you doing? You know, before the show starts, other than talking to people like me.
This is very normal for me. I do a lot of these.
Okay, okay.
And I spend the day just kind of faffing around until someone comes and gets me and puts me on the stage and hands me the microphone, and you know, it's all very normal stuff.
Do you
Quite
get
boring.
nervous?
No, good God, no.
No.
I'm bored of being nervous. I've spent my life being nervous. I don't have time for it anymore.
How did you get over it?
I got very, very bored of it.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Do you study, entertainers, athletes, non-athletes, silver screen starlets of yesteryear to give you inspiration for when you're in front of the people?
No, I'm not inspired by anything. This is just what comes out.
It just all comes out.
Yes.
And then
This
you
is
just
what I
perform.
give to you. Yes, there's no inspiration. Everyone's too bloody inspired by things these days. Everything's an inspiration. There's no inspiration. This is just me. This is just me giving to you, Ariel.
I love it. My favorite, dare I say, promo of yours was when you were in the ring and it was all black and you had the trench coat on and you were talking about Mercedes Monet. Do you remember that one just a couple months ago?
No, I don't remember that one.
Oh, okay. I thought that was brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bring a different layer to pro wrestling, and we've seen the stuff that you've been. Yeah, I've really been blown away by your work.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You feel like you get the respect that you deserve.
No, never. No one ever gives me the respect that I deserve. No, everyone just takes me for granted. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Because I won't be here one day.
Sure, but not in the
It'll
company.
be very, very.
Because I heard you say
What was
you're a
that?
lifer, right? You said you signed a 5-year deal.
I'm a lifer, darling.
Yeah, you're never going anywhere. So at least in the company or at the very top, you feel like you get the respect that you deserve.
It's still not enough.
Okay. It's never enough.
Never enough. I
How do
need
you-
more.
Yes,
More.
we all want more. Can I ask a hot topic going into this weekend, which I actually think is best for everyone?
Of course you can. Ask me anything.
Oh, thank you. WWE and AEW going head to head. How do you feel about this?
Wonderful. Here at All Elite Wrestling, we welcome some good, friendly competition.
Do you consider it friendly?
Of course. Of course it is.
You think this is good for everyone involved?
Of course. How could it not be?
Well, why of course?
It's just, it's what you do, isn't it? It's big business.
Yeah.
Competition.
Well, some would view it as counter programming, as a threat, one trying to hurt the other.
Oh, I don't think we're too worried about that. We're having a great time. We're doing our thing, and we're putting on great shows, and we're entertaining people, and that's all that matters. We're just here for the people. This is all for the people.
Yes. Do you even pay attention to what they're doing? Do you concern yourself?
No, there's way too much content. I'll never have enough hours in the day to consume it all.
Sure. What about keeping tabs on people? You had this very famous feud with Mariah, right? Now she's over there.
No. Yes. Well, we've all had relationships like Mariah, haven't we? That end in broken glass, fist fights, bloody kisses. What can I say about Mariah? God, we're just she's the single most evil, cold-hearted bitch I've ever met in my life. I can honestly say that. And I'm glad that I've banished her. I really did compromise her to a permanent end. But I'm a big fan of that Blake Monroe.
Okay. Do you keep tabs on what she's doing?
I've seen a bit, but I don't study it religiously.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Okay. So that's good. That seems positive.
Yes, of course it's positive. She's gone. She's not here anymore.
What about the experience of being in Philadelphia at the old ECW arena? What was that like for you?
Fantastic. It's a home away from home.
Well, how's that?
Absolutely love it. It's good vibes.
Okay.
Good violent vibes. I love it.
I saw you doing the old Sandman thing with the beer and all that.
Yes, he gave me his stick thing,
His kendo stick.
and I used it. Yes, I used it.
There it is.
Personally given. Yes, there he is. There's Dad. Yes.
I saw you on his podcast. You had a great rapport with him.
Oh, he's wonderful. I just love the Sandman.
Who would have thought, right? That young girl all those years ago watching pro wrestling on TV in Australia would be hanging out with the Sandman and getting his kendo stick.
Well, maybe right. Maybe that's my inspiration. Maybe I'm just inspired by the Sandman, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, but it's quite the life to have that dream at such a young age and now be getting these kinds of honors from legends of the game.
Yeah, the dream never changed, eh?
Was there a point where you thought that this would never come to fruition in the sense, because I was watching an old interview with you and the great Renee Paquette on her old podcast, and this was after you left WWE and just started with AEW, and you had spoken about being quite unhappy with the pro wrestling business. Did you think that maybe that was going to be it for you, that there would be no, continuing of this dream?
Yeah, I had no idea what was in store for me, really. I had no idea what the future held for me. But I'm glad I stuck it out, and I'm still around because I'm having a great time. This was where I was meant to be all along.
What if AEW wasn't around? What do you think would have happened?
Probably never see me again.
Right.
Maybe Japan. Maybe a headache medicine. I don't know. Probably nothing. Probably wouldn't exist. We probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right. And so look at the potential that you've realized.
Yes. No, you're right. No regrets. No ill will, but absolutely no regrets.
What do you think of Mercedes?
Ugh, my greatest rival. Yes. Well, I won the match, but she injured my butler. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not over.
Okay.
I won't let it go. He snapped his penis off right off the bat. It's
wow.
Terrible. It's terrible what's happened to him. Yes.
How's he doing?
They're not good.
Okay.
Not good at all. No. How would you be if your penis had been snapped off?
No, it sounds awful. It sounds like the worst injury of all time.
It's a terrible, terrible thing. So, yes, God bless Luther.
Yes.
Whatever happened to him.
And is there someone in the locker room right now, or on the roster, maybe outside of the roster, who you haven't been able to compete against, and you'd really like to?
Wendy Richter. I've been asking this for years now.
Someone who's active.
Nothing's happening. What was that?
Someone who's active.
Oh, you've got Torrie Wilson on your show today, don't you?
That's right. Yeah, she was lovely. She was on earlier. Why, you want to call her out?
I pick her.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Can you leave my my contact information for her, please?
For sure. Have you ever met her?
Briefly, not as much as I'd like to meet her.
Okay. We'll work on that. I'll send it over to you. I don't even have
Thank
your
you.
contact information, if I'm being honest.
Oh, well, I'll have my people reach out to your people.
Yes, you're hard to get to, so there's a lot of buffers in between us and you.
Yes.
It's not like most of the guests that we have on the show, we text, DM, email, but with you, I had to go through several layers of handlers.
I'm not tech savvy.
Yeah.
As you can see, as soon as I appeared on this, the whole system went kaput.
That's right.
I'm not good on the old technological side of things.
Sure. I'll let you go in a moment because I know that you have a very busy day there with a lot of stuff, catering and stuff like that. Pretty good. Anything exciting on the menu?
Decent.
Decent?
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully there's some curry.
Yeah. You like curry?
I love it. It gets me really fired up.
What I like most about, if you don't mind me saying, your accent is it's not quite Australian and it's not quite English. It's sort of like a mix of both.
I don't know what happened to it. I wish I sounded like an American. I love the American accent, but I can't do a good one.
I think you do a phenomenal, whatever this accent is, I think you should keep it.
Well, thank you. Okay. But I really do wish I sounded American. I'm going to keep practicing.
I had a gentleman named Maven on my show a couple weeks ago. Are you familiar with Maven?
I've heard of a Maven, yes.
He does a brilliant job on YouTube, And he was talking about the
Yes.
one time he was backstage at AEW, and he was really blown away by how it all went. He hadn't been in a backstage setting in about 20 or so years, so perhaps he can't compare it to today's backstage in WWE, but he was very glowing with his praise of the, just the comings and goings backstage and the entire mood. Would you share that sentiment? Do you think it's a good place? Is
Oh,
it,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. It's good vibes. It's good vibes all around. It's a hell of a team. Love being here. Proud of everyone here. Proud of everyone that works here and puts in the hard work. And our president Tony Khan is just an absolute dream to work for. And he's a really good man. And I think because of that, we just want to give him everything we've got.
Wow. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yes. I love him like family.
Wow. Okay, because I thought maybe you had a bit of a love-hate relationship, but it seems like it's genuine love.
Well, there is the issue with Wendy Richter, and then, sometimes he has to rein me in a bit. So apparently some things are deemed far too inappropriate.
Sure.
But he's a very good man.
Okay.
Very good man. Yes.
There were a lot of people excited that you were on the program today. What do you want to say in closing to these supporters of yours who seem to really back you and support and want to will you to the top of the business?
I say thank you for everything, and keep supporting All Elite Wrestling. It's a wonderful time. Join us for more good vibes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toni. All the best to you. Congratulations on all your success, on all the great work that you're doing. And we look forward to seeing you not only tonight, September to Remember on TBS, 3-hour show. Plus, we've got a tailgate brawl at 2 p.m. on Saturday on TNT prior to the All Out 2025 pay-per-view extravaganza, which is happening on HBO Max here in the United States and, of course, Amazon Prime internationally. And then 3 p.m. is the pay-per-view. Did I get all of that? Did I miss anything?
I think you got it there, Ariel. Good job. Will you be there?
I will not be there. I live in New York City, but I would like to attend an event one of these days.
Please do.
Would I be welcome?
Yes, absolutely. Come and check it out. Come and experience some of the good vibes.
Okay. Well, I look forward to that. Hopefully, we'll be able to see you in action. All the best to you. Good luck tonight, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much, my dear. Take care now.
All the best to you. There she is, the one and only tireless Toni Storm. What a character. What a personality. And yeah, she's in action and she's doing great things. She just picked up a big win over Sky Blue, had a feud with Mariah May, who she banished, as she said, and also a feud with Mercedes Moné, who you may recall was in WWE for many years as Sasha Banks.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Sounds like in the thing with Mercedes that the butler's penis something?
Yes.
What happened to the butler?
Wait. You thought that you misheard her?
Yeah, it sounds like she explicitly said snapped his penis off.
Yeah, multiple times.
And then asked Ariel how
But
he
what-
would feel if his
What
penis was
happened
snapped
to
off.
the poor butler? What happened to the butler? I'm not
Luther.
aware. Yes, but
You got
Did
her?
this happen in AEW, like in the storyline?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
oh, this poor man, poor Luther.
Who's the guy? There was an MMA guy that this happened to.
Oh boy.
You don't remember?
Wait.
Yeah, I know who.
This happened to the guy in real life, or it happened in the storyline?
Oh, Rick, you know exactly
I know who this
Oh,
happened
yes,
to,
it just
yes.
occurred to me in
Yes.
the moment. Do we talk about it?
No, let sleeping dogs lie.
No, this actually happened.
Yes,
Well,
penises can be.
Are you?
Someone
wait.
grabbed them by the twisted?
Connor, are you asking me if that was a work or a shoot?
No, I'm asking if the penis snap is a work or a shoot.
I actually don't.
It has happened in real life. Let's
It
just
has happened in real life to someone we all know.
What?
Yes.
Snapped off?
No.
not snapped
Oh,
off.
okay.
Who, me?
Just
Snapped
like
off is a
sprained.
Sprained.
Was it John Wayne Bobbitt? Was that his name? Who
Oh,
got it
boy,
cut
that's
off?
The cut
That was
off. Yeah,
cut.
that's the real.
now-
Then someone did the drill in the
And
scrotum.
of course,
right?
Oh, that was
Bryce
shout out to
Mitchell.
Shout out to Bryce.
Getting closer.
And then there was a guy
The interest.
who's involved in the MMA business who broke it.
Yeah,
Oh, he
that's
was
sprained.
involved in an MMA business.
No,
Not a fighter.
He is involved.
He
in
is
the
a fighter.
MMA former fighter, now maybe a
manager
slash
something.
Yeah, companion, and broke it.
In a fight?
Nope, not in a fight. Not in a fight.
Ali?
No. Anyway.
Ali snapped his penis? Breaking news.
Condolences to Luther.
Tough.
Hope he gets better. Wasn't aware that the butler had his penis.
Oh, I thought this was just something that happened in the a work.
Oh no. This is real deal.
Wow, I hope he's okay.
She's an interesting character. Look, I think if we're being honest, she was in character for the majority of that.
All of that.
There were moments that I think she wasn't. I think it was like a 90-10. But I
Even
sort
her
of
internet was from the 30s.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But I enjoyed it. And look, I can understand some people saying they wouldn't enjoy it, or saying, hey, remember when you spoke to Sasha Banks and she remained in character, and you've said that you didn't like that. And that's 100% a great point. Her character is so over the top that you almost have to stay in character, I guess.
I agree with that portion. Like the gimmick is life now. Like she has to kind of. The Undertaker for many years just was the Undertaker. You can't really do the other guy until there's a certain point where that ends. But
the Undertaker character wouldn't have worked as well if he was doing interviews out of character in the midst of all that, when he was
Correct.
the dead man who never spoke.
That's my. I'm okay with it.
You know what's brilliant about this? Now that I think about it a little bit, no one is doing that anymore. So while I wouldn't be in favor of it, because everyone is going literally.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? She's going 1984 route, which works with the old school character. Wendy Richter, by the way,
Never break kayfabe ever.
Yeah.
So, I think we looked it up.
Wendy Richter is like a 65-year-old wrestler.
Yes.
Former wrestler.
So she always talks
she
about wanting
wants
to
to-
beat her up because she was a part of
She called her a bitch.
Rock and Wrestling 1984 days. She was like the WWF champ.
I like your.
I love that.
Cindy Lauper. I like that.
So she was in the feud
That
with
was
Cyndi
the
Lauper.
wrestling
Yes,
match,
yes.
yeah.
Wow, 40 years ago?
Yeah.
I think you're right though. There is something charming / appealing about the old school kayfabe. Never giving
Everyone's
it up.
breaking it, so I'm going to be the only one to keep it.
But also, it's just if somebody walked around talking like that on the street, it's also kind of fascinating, right? If somebody had that kind of lilt and demeanor and voice, I think it's. I dug it. I thought she was quite.
It was a fun break
entertaining.
from the norm.
Yeah.
And honestly, doing it on a show day is not normal, so I appreciate her. And
No, she said she does it. Normal day.
Yeah, I guess.
That's how she gets down.
I do a lot of these.
I do a lot of these.
Yes.
Getting the electrolytes in and then putting on the show.
Wrestling's a fun place. I'm telling you, before it's all said and done, I just being backstage at a wrestling event is so much fun.
You just got formally invited by.
I think I got formally invited to watch the event. I don't think I got formally invited to be backstage.
$39.99 on Saturday on HBO
Oh,
Max.
I'll be there. 100%. Guys, there's a lot that we need to get to. We had a press conference for the Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn event that's going down November 15th. Now, I haven't been able to watch anything, so I've seen titles. I've seen Darshan of Everything Boxing fame on Twitter. Go follow him. He's the best. I've seen stuff, but what can you tell me about what transpired? Because it seemed like there was some spicy stuff.
Chris and Eddie got into it, and Chris was in rare form. Actually,
He's
it's not
amazing.
rare form for Chris. If we're being honest, he is the best at this. In my opinion.
Eddie tried to kick off the press conference by giving a few moments to Ricky Hatton, and Chris Eubank was not allowing that.
Serious?
Yeah, I believe we have the.
Okay, show me everything.
The Hatton clip.
Because here's the other thing. I did see Conor Benn show up in an old school Man City kit, right? And I think that he was wearing the old school blue Man City kit in honor of the late
That's
great
correct,
Ricky
yeah.
Hatton, who of course is a long time. There he is. Oh yeah, I love that blue heart hashtag the Hitman. Okay, please, I'm dying to watch this stuff. What do we got? Tell me.
Well, just firstly, Jamie, obviously, just a couple of. You might just going to say 30 seconds about Ricky Hatton.
No, there's no 30
Chris, 1 second.
You know the drill.
Chris.
You know the drill. I'm not going to.
You are some arsehole, you are.
Anything you say.
Okay, then don't
I'm
listen
an
to any.
arsehole, I'm a bad guy.
No.
I'm a this.
All I was going to do was say a few words about Ricky Hatton.
Okay,
words. Okay, I won't say anything about.
Move on with the press conference.
You're an arsehole. You talk shit. You get what's coming to you.
Over you for
It doesn't matter. You can do that.
We know
anyway.
the drill.
Wow. So Eddie wanted to pay respect to Ricky Hatton, and Chris wanted nothing to do with it.
wanted nothing to
He
do.
does not want to hear his voice.
The Chris Eddie rivalry is
the best.
as good as the Chris Connor rivalry in my book.
I want Chris to only fight Matchroom fighters after this fight, just so that we just keep getting this.
Yes.
Okay,
well,
what
then
else?
he made his really serious accusation that Eddie Hearn in Matchroom blocked him from being able to go to the hospital after the fight.
Okay.
After the fight, due to severe dehydration, I'm put in an ambulance and I have to go to hospital. Actually, so dehydrated that one of the toenails on my big toe fell off. It actually fell off. It's grown back about halfway now. But anyway.
Jesus, not a toenail.
I'm in the ambulance and
You still got it?
these scumbags blocked that ambulance from leaving the stadium for 20 minutes.
Keep going, because this is all being noted, because
20
it's
minutes.
absolute waffle.
20 minutes.
Waffle.
Locked in.
Waffle.
I'm laying there in a gurney, oxygen mask on. The car cannot move. They will not open the gates to let us leave.
Sorry, who won't open the gates?
Now, if this was a serious injury that I had sustained, that 20 minutes...
Chris, I want to know who wouldn't open the gates. It's important.
That 20 minutes...
You can't answer that, can you?
Could have been the difference between life and death.
You talk shit, you do.
And while this was all happening, Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn are in here talking to the media, lying about how I had a broken jaw and that was the reason why I was going to hospital. Bullshit artists of the highest degree.
Chris, can we get one thing clear? Can you just confirm that you are accusing us?
I am
Matchroom?
Or yes.
Okay, say it.
You guys
say
blocked me from
say
getting
it.
out.
Say it.
You know, because
Matchroom.
Who else could
Okay.
it have been?
Go on, say it.
Why was
Say it.
Why was I in an ambulance? for
Say
20
that
minutes?
Matchroom stops you from going to the
Why
hospital.
was I what? So you can try and sue me with your little lawyer?
Not at all. Don't worry about that. I think you're talking about the wrong guy.
interrupting me. You're not
Say
even
it.
supposed to be up here.
Say it.
These are the levels.
You talk shit.
These are the levels.
You know.
Of,
We stopped you from going because your toenail was falling off.
these people
Heard it
go
all now.
through. Eddie, the last time you were up here, you were talking about how famous and popular you were, even more famous than me.
No, that's impossible. You're the people's champ.
What? But you said it.
No, you're
even
getting
more
stopped
famous
by
than me.
grannies and children who
I
are
am.
throwing themselves at you like you're the Pope. It's incredible. And even with half a toenail. I can't believe it. But that's interesting. The fact is, you're telling us we stopped your ambulance from going to the hospital.
A glorified desk jockey.
Desk jockey?
That's what you are.
Okay, that's interesting.
Living off of the back of hard-working fighters. That's what you
Yeah, of
are.
course.
So the fact that you can sit
Well, listen.
here talking about how popular and
Care about how
famous you
popular.
are,
What I don't want to have
it
is
just
someone
shows you the
lying
level-
about what happened on the night
shows
to
you
try
the
and gain
level
more popularity.
ego and
About your
narcissism
weight
we're
cut,
dealing with
about all the bullshit you want to
I
come
don't
out
need to
with.
make anything
You're
up.
playing
It's
the
all
victim.
documented.
You're playing
It's
the
all
victim.
documented. I'm not
And we
the
see
victim.
through you.
I won the fight.
Well done. We
There's
give you
no
the
victim
respect.
Here, I won the fight.
But don't
Against
worry,
all
you
odds.
accuse us of stopping the ambulance to going from the
everything that
hospital.
you guys
We'll
tried
see.
to do.
We'll see. You're an arsehole. You talk shit. You get what's
I'm gonna
coming to
speak
you.
over you for
It
as
doesn't
long as it
matter. You
takes.
can do that.
Oh my God.
You rarely see Eddie Hearn that wound up.
Yo,
He's usually doing
that's
the winding.
legit shit. Like clearly, Chris caught on to it. He wanted him to spell it out.
Yeah.
That first of all, that's a massive accusation, massive accusation, and Eddie is fucking pissed.
Well, he actually afterward on the reaction show or whatever, he talks about potentially suing him.
Oh,
Before we do that, the reference to the grannies and the People's Champ, Chris Eubank kicked off the press conference with like a 5-minute soliloquy about him being the People's Champ.
I love it.
And that is what Eddie's referencing. So it's not just random. Like Chris did that, and then Eddie is calling that back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's hear this.
I don't care about Chris Eubank Jr. The guy, for me, is a fake. And he's trying to make out that everything's stacked against him. And what he accused us of was unforgettable. And when you are serious about your company as we are and what it means to us, trust me, we'll deal with that.
Wow. Okay, that's a threat. That is a threat.
Well, and then lastly, the last accusation he made was to the British Board of Control and the weight cut and everything like that. This is what Chris Eubank had to say.
Okay.
I want to talk about the British Boxing Board of Control. And more specifically, a man by the name of
Robert Smith.
Uh-oh. This is the big boss behind the scenes, the head honcho, the man with all the power that controls everything that goes on in professional boxing inside of the United Kingdom.
Someone just yawned there?
This guy's a big deal. He really is.
No.
Now, this idiot allowed a room full of media and cameramen into my private weigh-in the day before the fight.
That's right.
Is this when you were sabotaged
The
again?
time that it took to get these people out contributed to me missing the weight.
Chris, you turned up over an hour late.
And getting fined 500K.
You turned up over an hour late.
He let Conor Benn fight in gloves filled with horsehair, knowing that was a direct breach of the contract I had for this fight. On fight night, he personally escorted an arch nemesis of mine, Billy Joe Saunders, to my changing room.
So boring.
To disrupt and try and ruin my preparations for the biggest fight of my life. So, and then afterwards, he gets into the ring and is trying to shake my hand and congratulate me. I mean, the ball's on this guy. It's viciously clear for me to see that this toad is nothing more than a puppet and a pawn. I think he is in the back pockets of Matchroom.
Wow. Another one that's got it in for you.
Absolutely.
You are so unlucky with everything.
So
I mean, you know.
unfortunately, just another scumbag in this.
Oh wow, you're calling the chairman of the British Boxing Board of Control a
industry
scumbag
we
now.
find ourselves
The
in.
mask is slipping, Christopher.
Oh my dear, what a press!
I can assure you that Conor Benn was there. Just
Yeah,
in
he
case
actually
you were
hasn't said a
wondering, he
thing
was
yet.
there.
He hasn't said a thing yet. We answered the question earlier if it feels like this fight is lacking. I feel like
No.
it's all the way back. Someone asked me, I haven't gotten to all the questions, but here's
Here's
the
the
face-off.
face-off.
Here's the face-off. How was it? Was there any talking?
No.
Nah, it was
Quite
kind of
uneventful.
reserved compared to.
By the way, I haven't
past
seen
stuff.
Ben Shalom in quite some time. There he is.
I would have liked to see Eddie and Chris face off, if I'm being honest.
Or Eddie and Ben. Also of note, I saw Bomac.
Oh yeah, he's back with Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, he was up there. Back in the UK, had a bit of an incident there in the UK a couple years ago. How about it? No turkey in the middle.
How many people do you think are thinking of eggs right now in that picture?
Can I also say I like the look, like the yellow, the poster, very solid.
Yeah, I like it too.
One thing you have to say
Feels
about
old school.
the promotion for all of these events, always on like that. Yeah, I mean that is old school. Who's the marketing person behind it, and why do they seem to get it right and no one else gets it right? I don't know. Yeah, it's nice. That's nice. I like the red. So it's almost like Hogan and Warrior. No. Hogan and Savage. Mega powers explode.
November 15th. Nice
Man.
crisp fall day at Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sign me up.
Yo, November 14th, 15th is pretty damn fun.
Pretty damn fun, yeah.
Jake Tank on Netflix, followed by this, followed by UFC Madison Square Garden. And so let us get into Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Reports had begun to circulate that this fight was in jeopardy, but we have gotten the official announcement that it is being moved from your hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, GC, to beautiful Miami. Coming to me when the ground is on all night at the break of dawn. Go to Miami. This is very tough, writes Jake Paul on X, but this fall I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and fight Tank Davis at the Kaseya Center, live on Netflix globally. That was my conclusion when I woke up this morning. Oh yes, I do believe that's a nod to the famous LeBron James, Jim Gray decision interview in 2010. Can I tell you, as someone who is working the event, I'm thrilled. With all due respect to your beautiful hometown, which is a great place.
Yeah,
you know we love South Beach.
Sounds very respectful.
Yeah, respect.
We love.
We're losing all that money in tourism.
Sounds respectful.
We love South Beach.
Massive hit.
Say that to the public
Atlanta's
schools
great.
in
Atlanta's
Atlanta.
great, but can't wait to get to Miami.
You
Oh my
love
God,
South
I'm so
Beach
happy.
more than Atlanta as well.
Me?
No,
or
no.
him?
This guy.
Nah. That's home.
Yeah, I prefer to live in Miami.
Sure. Kaseya Center, home of the Miami Heat. Let's see if they're in town.
Miami vibes on the poster. It's just
I like that.
Yeah.
There's no big fights in Atlanta.
Damn.
Because
That's
of-
what we're trying to build, man.
Other than Burns and Not Burns. Usman and freaking Buckley.
All timer.
It was an
Legendary.
Wasn't Woodley and Lawler?
No, Gastelum.
UFC 201.
was there.
Wasn't that
The best fight ever was UFC 201 when Tyron Woodley knocked out Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, see? Wow, look at my memory. That's pretty good by me.
Wasn't it Poirier, Max, and Gastelum?
Oh, yeah.
236?
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
A little back
236.
Wednesday, November 12th. Miami Heat home to the
Charlotte
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh.
They're actually at the Knicks on November 14th. I got really excited. They're home for the Knicks on the 17th. I got super excited for a second.
Just stay through.
Yeah, maybe we will. Do a show out there, guys? What do you say?
Let's do it.
A little road show? Did they give a reason of some kind, or was that it?
I did not see any explanation.
To appease one Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, appreciate it.
From the A down to
Per,
South Beach.
per request of Ariel Helwani,
Well, thank
we have
you, guys.
moved this show.
You see, I do have some pull over there. I do have some pull. They are going to be doing a press conference next Monday in New York, which I will not be a part of. In fact, you won't see me on Monday. Worth saying now, Monday's show will be live, but it will be the boys in the back doing the program. Yes? Now, you guys are actually doing two shows. Two
Sure
shows
will.
next week, right? You're doing a Monday show and then the typical usual Thursday show. Pizzi doing the Friday show. Why will I not be there on Monday? It's because it's Rosh Hashanah Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday. Our New Year. Happy New Year to all. I was looking for something. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. But you will see me on Tuesday. We will premiere The Beat with myself, Pizzi Carroll, Chuck Mendenhall, and Ben Folks. That should be great. Little round table of sorts. And then on Wednesday, we'll be doing, is it volume 3 or volume 4? I think it might be 3, yeah, of our classic interview series where we play some old school interviews. I give you some nuggets from those days, backstory, a little, a little reminiscing, a little trip down memory lane. So very, very good stuff. So that's next week, and that's why I won't be here in studio and why I won't be at that press conference. I will be at the Montreal event not this Saturday, next Saturday, September 27th, at the Théâtre Saint-Denis in the heart of Montreal. I haven't worked a Montreal event in quite some time. That's the MVP Boxing Montreal event. So I am looking forward to that on the 27th of September. And then I'll be back on the 29th, and we actually have a couple big guests already lined up for the 29th. A couple other things. Did you guys watch Dana White's Contender Series? True or false? Are you guys locked into Contender Series? Are you?
I have been a couple weeks. I was not this week.
There was a great scene regarding a young man whose father passed away just a couple of days ago, right? His name, Hecker Sosa. Word came out that his father died of cancer, remained on the card, won, and then had a very nice exchange, I thought, with UFC President Dana White. Here it is. Oh, we don't have it. Okay. I saw the old check mark there, so I figured that was...
Yeah, that was a little...
Was that a preemptive?
Yeah, no, the second part of my job wasn't finished.
Okay.
It's tough.
Do we have the picture?
Yeah, we have the note.
Okay, so he left him a note, and this is it from Dana White. Be the fucking reason your last name means something one day. And so I guess he gave him that. And there was a nice exchange afterwards, which they posted on social media, which I thought seemed very nice and heartfelt from Dana. So let it be known that I wanted to highlight it and play it. The powers that be have stopped me from doing so. You see, they're trying to stop the amends from being made. Do you understand? Okay, now we have it.
Life can be very fucking mean and bad. Life has been very, very, very wrong to overcome mentally and emotionally what he's overcome to prepare tonight and to win, man. I'm really happy for him, and I wish you all the best in the UFC.
La vida puede ser mucho dura y mucho jodida para mucha gente. La vida ha sido muy dura para pasar por eso, pasar por ese reto, hacer lo que hiciste acá, y siendo persona que estoy muy orgulloso. O sea, bienvenido a la oficina.
Thank you, sir.
That was great stuff. Also, by the way, do want to give a shout out. I forgot to do this on Monday. Seeing Fabiano up there with Canelo in the post-fight interview on Saturday actually gave me so much joy. I love Fabiano. He is so genuine. He's so nice. He is so heartfelt. And seeing him on that massive stage in front of millions of people was pretty damn cool. It felt like one of us, you know? He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Fabiano Busquet, he's one of our own. What about Yuri? I saw this tweet of Yuri Prochaska, who's getting ready for his fight against Khalil Roundtree on October 4th. This is rapidly approaching, by the way. It's only just a couple of weekends away now. Look at this. This guy's chiseled, looking ready to go. Shout out to BJP. What a fight. Those 3 fights are amazing.
Oh, so good.
What are the other 2 on that pay-per-view? Doesn't really even matter, to be honest.
Sure, there's a Kevin Holland fight in there somewhere.
Sure. I saw an interesting quote from Mark Shapiro, the COO and president of TKO, who are all over the place. He was talking to the Puck's John Orand, who does a great job with his podcast and his newsletter about the business of sports media, talking about the negotiations with Netflix to bring the UFC rights over there. Quote, there was one moment of disappointment, and that was when we were getting pretty close with Netflix, frankly, and they kind of stood by the fact that they didn't want to have the volume, meaning the amount of events. So we all thought that they wanted to go to Netflix, top choice, and then they wanted to maybe stay with ESPN. They have already said in other interviews that it was clear that ESPN wouldn't meet their number, so they pivoted to WWE. And by the way, that's a great spot to be in if you're TKO. Oh, hey, you don't want this entity? Well, let me show you this entity. And let me show you this entity with the amazing fan base that is going to travel and sign up and support and prop up, just like this entity would. And you're getting the same amount of premium events without maybe the pay-per-view price tag and all this stuff. And at a cheaper cost, right? So works out well when you could do that. Speaking of that WWE event on Saturday on ESPN, WrestlePalooza, Triple H himself, Paul Levesque, announcing that the theme song for this event, they are going all out with this one. This is WrestleMania-esque, is going to be one of my favorite songs of all time. Who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? Is it Stacy? Is it Keisha? Is it Jane? You guys know that song? Is it Andy?
Yeah, of course.
How many songs does he have about phones?
Yeah. Oh man.
They just choose whatever
the best
top
songs
40 is.
And pay top dollar for it.
Who knows what Drake charged them for it?
Is
as long as Fiend's gone, I'm cool.
Oh yeah.
Fiend. Every fucking commercial, everything.
That was his theme song.
Fiend with the yeet. I almost lost me. Cricket Wireless Yeet commercial.
I don't see Kendrick getting any wrestling theme songs right now. I'm just saying.
He just did the Super Bowl. I mean, no big deal.
Nah, Super Bowl.
WrestlePalooza, Super Bowl 60. 59.
No, wait, let's not get crazy. Drake's not performing there, so you can't compare the two. I'm just saying.
Right. I agree. We can't.
Who's hotter right now? Who's more beloved right now?
Keep my fucking name out of your mouth.
Kendrick, I think, is still more beloved.
No, we're still Team Drake, though, actually. You flipped me. and
Oh, for real?
I actually have always been Team Drake.
Oh, okay. Wow. This is great.
You act like we're like coming after your boy.
No.
You do have to respect what
There was one, by the way, there was once a time if you this is the truth. You know this. If you said you were Team Drake, you were getting canceled. True or false?
Canceled?
People were trying. Do you remember Steph Curry? People were like, "Yo, he should be canceled."
Shut up, dude.
What?
This is so
Flamed.
crazy.
They were getting flamed for sure.
Steph
People
Curry
that were like,
getting canceled?
Maybe he won the beef. Actually, if you go back and listen to the Carters or whatever it was, maybe he did have something there. Nah, people were getting roasted.
Anyway, more questions. Couple more questions. Let's try to appease the audience. Ryan Holland says, "When are you guys doing a road show outside of America? GC seems pumped. When is it happening?" Well, if I'm being 100% honest, we were going to do one on November 14th in New York. We had the venue, we had everything in place. And then we were called to Atlanta and then
Who the
Miami.
fuck is we?
That's a good point. That's a good point, Frank.
That's a great point, Frank.
We need to do one. We need to do one. The dream has always been England, then Australia, Ireland, Canada would be great.
Isn't Ireland in England?
No.
Just kidding. To fill in some holes from earlier, the last two fights on 320 are GC's Super Bowl, as proclaimed by one Ariel Helwani, Joe Pyfer versus Avis Magomedov. How could I have forgotten?
That's my guy. And your guy.
I was going to say, no, you told me that
No, I know.
Avis is my guy as well as Joe Pyfer. Josh Emmett, Yusuf Zalal.
Okay, not bad.
Oh,
Good
those are
card.
some scraps.
That's
yeah.
a good card, man. That's a great
Top
great
tier.
main card.
Elite. Aaron, yo boys, let's break the fourth wall. Just wondering, upon reflection, if you think it was the right call to not address GC leaving the watch party. It was really odd to never mention it and just lead to outlandish comments in the chat. New York Rick was great in his Garth moment, but couldn't someone just have mentioned that GC is driving the porcelain bus and we could have all moved on? It was great to have just one camera on New York Rick, though. While we all heard the door close behind GC. Love the show. Listen, can I say I do agree? What's wrong with saying he's not feeling well?
Yeah, nothing.
There was
no protocol for the situation.
It's never happened.
And it
Knock
never
on
will
wood, it'll
happen.
never happen
Also,
again.
it's a bit personal. It's a bit sensitive.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm cool with it,
What if it
man.
got
I was
serious?
blowing it out in the bathroom.
Toronto Mike D, true or false? Gable Steveson, and by the way, it's not Stevenson, as this guy writes, it's Steveson.
Fucking hell.
Is somewhere on the White House card prelims, possibly. True or false? Is Gable Steveson, it's funny you say that, Toronto Mike D, because I think a really interesting topic for a program would be if Gable Steveson is the next big thing.
While he asks about
being on the White House card.
Yeah, it's almost like one super trumps the other.
Nice.
Is he in the UFC this time next year?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I think he's taking the Bo Nickel, a few Dana White Contender Series, and you're in.
Is he on the White House card?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think
Too
it'll be
soon.
later.
Too soon.
I think he's probably making his debut around this time next year.
GC, Patrick McCray, favorite segment of the week. Blind rank these Georgia football players. This again.
I know, but last week's was really good. Like, I felt like I nailed it. A couple of people said Todd should have been over Brock, but man, what Brock was able to do, a couple national championships,
Matthew Stanford. Now, is it Stafford or Stanford?
I mean, it's Stafford. He's still in the league today. He's still a starting quarterback today.
I even know Matthew.
Super Bowl champion, #1 overall pick. Let's go Matt Stafford at 2.
David Polak.
David Pollock, who also is still in the media today, was on College Game Day for a while. Legend, Cincinnati Bengals, unfortunate neck injury. Some all-time moments. South Carolina rips the ball out in the end zone, touchdown. Let's go 3, though. Let's go 3.
Stenson Bennett.
God bless these names. Stetson Bennett. Whew. Two-time
read
national
down.
champion. He ain't doing shit now. He's on the booze now, but
Oh, damn. Jeez.
two-time
Way to kick the
national
guy while he's
champ.
down.
We'll go 1. We'll go 1.
Rokan Smith.
Oh my God, that's 2 right there. Roquan Smith, also in the league right now, unbelievable linebacker. One of the best defensive players I've ever seen before in my life. I mean, the closing speed, the lateral speed on this guy. He should be 2, but I guess 4. That's where the slot is.
So in the end, Stafford was 1?
Yeah. No, Stafford was 2. Stetson 1.
Stetson over Champ Bailey?
You never said Champ Bailey.
Fuck, I skipped Champ Bailey.
Jesus Christ.
You know why I skipped him? Because that's the one that I knew.
It's tough.
Denver Broncos.
I can't believe you didn't know these other guys. All right, so if I'm doing it, I'd probably go Champ, Roquan, Stetson, Stafford, Pollock. But all 5 are legends. Legends, all of them.
Would you say your favorite sports team is Georgia football?
It's not even remotely a conversation, yes. Grew up on it. My dad went there.
You went there.
Went to school there. Family ties, yeah. Georgia, no doubt.
Hunter Biden's crack pipe asks, Ariel, just want to bring your attention to the staggering percentage of your guests that say it's tough at some point over the course of your interviews. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. I think we need to praise the amount of self-control Frank has for not hitting the GC drop every time it happens, especially in the moments where they're being vulnerable and it would be highly inappropriate. Could you imagine?
It is very hard. Sometimes I'm even like at home and my wife says it's tough and I'm like, and then she's like, would you knock it off? I'm trying to tell you that we're having a serious talk.
We need to start collecting the guests saying it's tough like Infinity Stones so we can just rotate who says it.
I feel some type of way about Bud being the only It's Tough now. Like, don't ignore the OG GC. I don't want it to only be Bud now. I'm
The
kind
Bud
of.
one is.
Are you ignoring the times I've hit the GC one?
Nah, you're hitting Bud too much, Bud.
Bud's so
It's
good.
only Bud.
It's fresh. It's a new toy.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what?
exactly.
You shouldn't executive produce yourself.
Nah, I need more GC back. I need more GC back.
The Bud one is fantastic.
I probably
Bud's
hit
an OG.
his more than I've hit.
Nah.
Bud's.
Could
You've
you
been
imagine
Bud
if
heavy.
like there's a guest on, like even like earlier, Tori's talking about like anxiety and all this shit, and then he just drops, "It's tough."
Sometimes
She's-
my finger inches over to the don't care, and I'm like, oh man, what's happening?
Oh my, we don't
You're gonna
care.
accidentally do it, and we're gonna be
What
fucked.
the fuck is going on, bro?
Oh my god. Yo, Ariel, as a journalist friend, wonder what your thoughts are on Pablo Torre's recent run from the NFL collusion case to the Clippers salary cap circumvention. I mean, throw in the Bill Belichick situation with his girlfriend. Pablo is one of the best sports journalists in America. His podcast is great. We all have friends that work on the show behind the scenes. They do a great job. Their production value is great. Their reporting is great. Their research is great. There's really, I'm very happy for him because he kind of bet on himself. He left ESPN and teamed up with the Meadowlark guys, and now is doing stuff with The Athletic. And I think he's still part of the Meadowlark family. It's just it's amazing to see him beating or outscooping or whatever it is the major networks, and then them having to say earlier today, Pablo Torre finds out. It reminds me of, like it's just like when the little podcast, the little engine that could makes it big. Now he's a incredible reporter, host, journalist, whatever you want to say. So he's not the little engine that could, but he's trying to get something off the ground. So it's great for his YouTube channel, for whatever he's trying to build. So really, really impressive. The Kawhi thing seems to be an onion that has many different layers to it, and good on him for. I spoke to him a little bit during the Bill Belichick thing, and your life gets turned upside down when a story of that magnitude gets broken, because you have people who are coming after you, who are saying you're full of shit, who are saying you're a liar, who are saying it's not true, who are questioning your sources. Every time I open X, he's engaged in a battle with Mark Cuban over this story. It's crazy stuff. So much respect to him. He says your 2 appearances on his show were some of my favorite things you've done. So my question, if you were to go on again, what MMA story would be fun or important to get Pablo Torre finds out treatment? Oh gosh, I have no idea. I'll think about that. Big B, hey mate, with Meatball Molly being on display this weekend, it reminded me, whatever happened to their and Patty's partnership with Barstool? Is it still going? I don't think so. You guys seeing anything?
It definitely is not. I would imagine it was a contract that ran out.
When is the DraftKings sponsorship coming? Is there a story behind them not jumping onto the team just yet? There is a little bit of a story. I'm still with BetMGM 4 years now and love working with those guys. And let's see what happens. The reason is, without getting too inside, there are already deals in place here with gambling, and the door wasn't as wide open as it was, but it wasn't because DraftKings wasn't happy or anything like that. So I suspect within the next few months, you'll get some clarity on that. How about that? He also says, additionally, I vote against reducing the number of interviews. I like the banter, but don't feel the interview quality and quantity should suffer. I feel like we're at a pretty good spot now, my friends. Chris, hey, Ariel team, did you watch Mondo Duplantis's latest record-breaking pole vault? This guy's incredible. You know this guy from the Olympics, the Swedish guy, who I think goes to LSU. He was unbelievable in Paris. The guy defies gravity. I mean, the guy takes a pole and he goes, oh, it's nuts. I didn't actually see it. I know the World Athletic Championships are happening right now.
Is that the sound it actually makes?
More generally, since last year's Olympics gig, are there any sports you keep tabs on or athletes you watch out for, having spent so much time? Some of the Canadian guys, for sure, because I actually got to meet some of them. The track and field guys, the swimmers. I've actually kept in touch with some of them, which has been pretty cool. And I love when their stuff pops up on my social media, because it's like there's one dude who's a race walker, and it's just so completely different than the MMA stuff. There's another platform diver. Again, so completely different. So it's nice.
Any break dancers?
There was one guy, the Wizard, Phil the Wizard, but not too much.
I had to look this up because I wanted to confirm it was the same guy. But apparently, and it was, I remember reading this story a few years ago. This guy that you're talking about, Mondo, he breaks his own record by 1 centimeter each time so that he can break it again the next time. And he's done it now 14 times. So he does it so that he gets the bonus for setting the world record each time that he does it.
Doesn't he go to LSU?
Yeah, I said that.
He said,
"Oh, SEC greatness."
He's great. He's great.
It's tough.
He stole the
But
show.
how
in Paris.
crazy is that? That he's just like so finely calibrated, so fine tuned that he's like, I'm gonna break this record, then I'm gonna break it each time, and has now done that 14 times.
He's unbelievable.
Kinda edgy, though, right?
And he's a good looking dude. He's got, as the kids say. Someone told me to stop saying that. He
Who
has
told you
aura.
to stop
He has aura. This individual named Jordan Saucer says, Ariel, when is Josh Allen coming on your show? Do you think he knows how many listeners you've converted into Bills fans? I don't know. I don't know the answer to both of those questions. But golly, do I love Josh. Big Thursday night game tomorrow. I would love to have Josh on the program, obviously. I will say I threw out the line. I love the chase. I love the Hail Mary, and I threw it out. I threw it out over the off season, and he was getting married and everything like that. But honestly, I would love to have him on. I would just love to shake his hand. I'd just love to thank the guy. I really do appreciate what he's given us, Bills fans. This is my favorite one right here with the jacket.
This guy's a D1 Glazer,
Bro, I'm just trying to show some love. The main thing is, I was talking to my son Oliver, and he's like, this is the best. My friends say, before I get to that, Josh, if you're listening, I'd love to have you on, even for 5 minutes. I actually saw him on some other shows, and I was like, how do we get this guy on? We love the guy, and we're not going to even ask. I just want to be like, remember that time you threw a 98-yard pass to Gabe Davis against the Steelers, and I was sitting in the third row, my first time at Highmark Stadium? That was awesome. I just want to be Chris Farley talking to Paul McCartney. I don't want to be a journalist talking to him. I just want a fanboy. Is that okay? Anyway, I was talking to my son, and he's like, my friends say that I just like the bandwagon. I'm a bandwagoner. I just like the good teams.
About him or you?
No, about him.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And I love that. And I was like, imagine someone telling a Knicks and Bills fan 15 years ago that you just like the good teams. Like, they were so far away from that. And so I'm very thankful that my kids have now grown up where the two teams that I chose for them, because let's be honest, they had no choice. I lost them with Man City, but I was, we weren't quite as into it back then, so it wasn't ingrained. It had to be the Knicks. It had to be the Bills. Of course, he has an appreciation for the Expos, no doubt about it, but he's a Blue Jays fan and a Syracuse fan as well. We want to go see Keon Anthony. There's been some talk of that this upcoming season, and a Canadians fan. So there's no it's like Rudy. In this household, we root for one team and one team only. And of course, I'm talking about different sports, but those are our teams. People like to make the joke that I have so many teams. Yeah, there's different sports and I like different sports. And so there are different teams in different sports. But let's be clear. I don't have an AFC and NFC team. I don't have an Eastern Conference team and a Western Conference team. I got one team per sport. And the funniest thing is, some of the crazy European fans will say that I'm a flip-flopper because of the soccer stuff, without realizing that the Leicester and Everton thing were just like gags on the show. They were never real, and they know that, or at least they should know that. Now it's the Knicks Bills. It's Knicks Bills. Those are the top two. If you want to know, Knicks Bills. Then it's
Sounds
Forest.
like 6.
Forest Canadians, Syracuse basketball, Syracuse football. Montreal Alouettes in soccer, Montreal FC in MLS. I do like the Red Bulls as well. And then when it comes to football, as in international soccer, of course we love Canada. We love Canada basketball, and that's kind of the gamut. I do support Israel basketball, Israel football as well. They've had a good run, and I think that's the gamut right there.
Golden age of Helwani sports fandom. I mean, the Canadians are on the up too.
The
Blue Jays
Canadians
about to win the AL East.
I was actually thinking of that yesterday. I was like, holy shit, it's pretty. Who would have thought like Forest might be the worst team now, after last season being maybe the best team? Well, not the best, but they seem to have it all figured out. Now they're in shambles, it seems like. But yes, it does feel like a golden age, and that leads me to the point of being happy that it's way worse when you're telling your kids to support a team that's 2-15. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for their questions. I love you all. Do we have any super chats?
You know it. Ariel,
Yes.
we have mutual friends in John Pollock and Wai Ting.
That's-
Wonderful guys. Did I
Wai
fuck something
Ting.
up? Wai Ting. All right. Couldn't wait till the end to correct me. I know you all used to travel for UFC cards. Any road stories with them?
Love John, love Way. They were actually on very, very early episodes of the MMA Hour, way back in the day, like AOL days. And when I've been in Toronto, gone out to lunch with them. When John was working for the Fight Network, I remember us doing a sort of like long form interview. Do I have war? You know what? I recall, I'm almost 100% certain that this happened. Yes, it did happen. I recall a good memory is going to an indie wrestling show the night before UFC 203 in Cleveland. Shayna Baszler was on the card. Matt Riddle was on the card. Ronda Rousey made an appearance, a surprise appearance. That was the night before CM Punk's debut in the UFC, and that was a lot of fun. Mark Ramundi was with us. Pretty sure Esther and Casey and John and Way. I don't get to go to a lot of indie shows, so I really enjoyed that. What else, Frankie? What else?
Lastly, Mike D says, my prediction, not only will you and Dana mend fences, before it's all over, Ariel Helwani will be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame as a journalist. Boys in the back, thoughts?
Okay, well, I honestly, I feel like the latter is actually even crazier than the former. I'll tell you what, I'd love to see Tom Gerbasi in the UFC Hall of Fame, and I think that that's a pretty easy one to get done. That would be phenomenal, and I hate that would happen after his passing, but and I still can't believe I even say that. But anyway, I saw some people saying that like, oh man, you just ruined any chance of it happening by saying he was sarcastic. Come on, guys, really? Like, really, you guys think that he wasn't being sarcastic? But that doesn't change my sentiment. Again, I appreciate the fact that he didn't call me X, Y, and Z. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And, I'm not trying to beg or to do anything like that because I don't think, and by the way, when I say if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I mean about reading the situation. I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't think that whatever he thinks I did, the punishment fit the crime. And I'm not talking about the banning stuff. I'm just talking about all the stuff that we went through in the subsequent years. I think a lot of it actually is a big misunderstanding. Like, I wish that there was a world, if I could go back in time, especially at the end of the Fox deal, where it's like, hey, let's talk this out. This didn't work. Why didn't it work? And how could it work in the future? Because I've told stories many times. There was a period where I was breaking news and the UFC PR team was giving me so much trouble. And I told him this because I was hired as the insider for Fox. They said they wanted me to be the Jay Glazer of UFC Tonight. Well, how could I be an insider and get trouble from the one organization that I'm supposed to be the insider for? It's not like I'm covering 32 teams. The one team is trying to block me. And he said, do your thing, man. Your job will make people upset. I'll never forget it. He was getting his kids ready for school. He's like, I'm the president of the company, and I'm telling you, I have no problem with it. It's the truth. And it made me feel better. And so I was like, all right. And I never think that I broke that. Again, you'll see people now say, Ariel was told in confidence. That never happened on my life, on my kid's life. Never, ever, ever happened. I didn't get it from Fox. I didn't get it from any sort of conference call. I got it from people in the business, in and around, not working for the UFC, nothing even remotely close to that. The same way you get any fight story. Managers, sisters, brothers, wives, friends, coaches, teammates, sources. So I don't know. I'm not trying to be like Mr. Negative, but it's just my, it's just my read of that situation as I drop my pencil. What else, Frankie?
By the way, if it's a genuine sentiment, why would saying like, maybe he was being sarcastic, change that? If it's a genuine sentiment, it is a genuine sentiment. Nothing would be affected by that. Doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who, know how to find me. And so if it was genuine, and then maybe it was an off-the-cuff thing. I think that interview was from last week because they were talking about the Charlie Kirk tragedy. So who knows? Look, again, one more time, I'm not saying F you laughing at it. It was just when I saw it, I was like, I think everyone or a lot of people are reading this wrong. I asked other people if they agreed. They said yes, and meaning like in my life. But my takeaway was I appreciated not being called a lying sack of shit. No one likes to hear that. What else, Frankie? What else?
That's it, my man.
All right. Just looking to see if we missed anything. I'm seeing a litany of we'll skip that one. I'm seeing a litany of tweets regarding Tom. I see a nice tweet from DAZN as well. And so now we go back to reality. When I turn this off and say goodbye, you go back to thinking about that stuff. But the show did provide a nice little escape, and I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that, and I enjoyed today's guests, and I enjoyed being able to think about other things. We talked about a lot of heavy things on the show this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and not a great time. And let's all just appreciate life. Let's appreciate each other. Let's try to be the best and kindest and nicest human beings that we can be. And I don't know. I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know if there is an afterlife. I really don't. I'm a religious person. I believe in God. I don't know how to feel about the afterlife. Like last week I was, people saying Charlie's with Jesus, Charlie's with God. I don't know. None of us know. I do sometimes wonder when you hear about people flatlining, how come they don't say like, oh, I saw some stuff and then I came back? When they said they were dead, how come they don't say that? That's like the closest we can ever find out. I don't know. The point is, the way I try to live my life is, you only get one shot. And you try to be the best person you could be, and you try to appreciate life and be grateful for the little things, not get too high, not get too down. And I hate that these are being used as reminders, but this is how things go, and hopefully this could be a reminder that it is so, like we talk all the time. What are we going to do next month? What are we going to do next week? What are we going to do? This can end in 5 minutes, in an hour. So I hope you all appreciate your blessings. I hope you all are in good places. And if you're not, better days are coming ahead. And I hope that we don't have to deal with situations like we had to deal with over the last couple of days, as far as people we look up to and people, of course, that we are friends with. Makes it even tougher. On that note, we say goodbye. Check out the book if you can. Boxing. The 100 Greatest Fighters. Oh, thank you for that. On air, Jordan telling me that the link is in the chat. Please check it out. Oh man, this is great stuff. I perused it a little bit. Beautiful as well. Like, look at these pictures. Unbelievable. I mean, just like, I don't even know what to make of the fact that Tom, the quintessential writer, leaves with this gift for all of us. Just won an award last year for boxing excellence. I see Andre Ward, Pernell Whitaker, Usyk, Tyson, Gene Tunney, Trinidad, Toni, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Clarissa Shields, Michael Spinks, Joe Lewis, Ray Mancini, Pretty Boy Floyd, Archie Moore, Eric Morales, Shane Mosley, Manny Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Robinson, Vladimir Klitschko, Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, Vander Holyfield. God bless Tom Gerbasi. God bless his family. My heart goes out to them. And thank you, Tom. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being such a great person and such a great mentor to so many of us. You will never be forgotten. Your kindness, your spirit will never be forgotten. And like I said, your memory will be a blessing. And I hope you realize how much you meant to all of us. Thank you so much to our guests. Thanks to the crew. Back on Thursday, same time, place to say peace. I'm out of here.